Hello and good evening. And
I'm telling you about changing the dreaming dog. I'm right and you're wrong, Greed, and that's how it's always been. What you gotta say about that? You ain't got nothing to say because you muted. Where you at, Superman? Where's the rant? Where's the rant?
I'm gonna fight you, Johnny.
Where's the rant? Let's fight. Let's the blood sport begin. Come on, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's get an angry Greed. Let's go ahead and let's get an angry man. People love to see that.
I'm not naturally an angry person.
You're not naturally angry? Come on, it's gonna be an ass whooping in this chat. Come on,
Johnny.
Look,
Do the fucking episode.
We're doing. You're what?
Excuse me, everyone here for taking this first couple of moments of the episode. But yes. I was simply gonna say this in response to Changeling and Johnny's rant during the other episode.
And you were talking to me while we were watching a movie last night, which is why I have this new profile picture.
I really do. I hate that image so much. But I will simply say this here is I get it, Johnny. That first time you ran Changing, it sort of messed you over a little bit. That may have soured you.
It's because we had two shitty players that ruined the whole game, really.
They weren't shitty.
You think a woman sitting with both her hands in her lap for the entire 3 sessions of the session, not saying anything, not contributing in combat, is a good player?
Look, all I'm gonna say is very simple: is you simply had a bad experience from your point of view.
It's the bad experience aside. Just look at this mechanically. How am I supposed to set this up? Where World Darkness has had an issue like going all the way from Vampire to Werewolf to Mage, you had this whole power fantasy, power scaling issue. I got cranked all the way back down, and it was fixed with Wraith. It was fixed, and then it went right back above Mage or Changeling.
Look, I get it here. Look, you complained a lot about saying how the fuck did we stop Changing from being so stupidly broken, right?
And the whole thing is banality, and then it allows you into a gameplay loop that's not fun.
No, it's Cold Iron, you little shitlord.
It's Cold Iron, yes. You just have that. So, every NPC has got to carry Cold Iron, just like in Werewolf, where everyone needs to have a silver bullet clip.
No, Johnny.
And that's the whole issue here. So, Changing is a bust-up game, but Kyle likes it, and Kyle wants to see more Changing content, which is why we're doing this. It's
for example, my point is, I get it. You had some bad exposures, and I disagree with a few things. One, you sort of missed the concept of changing the dreaming. You looked at it from a point of view that growing up sucks. That isn't the point behind changing.
That is the point of changing the dreaming.
It's
the message behind it.
No, what the point behind changing the dreaming is have hope as you grow up, you little shitlord. Have a dream.
That's what the Autumn people are for. That's the whole point of the book, the Autumn people.
The Autumn people are just people to fight against.
The Autumn people, it's the inevitability about what's going to happen to you at some point. You've got 35 years max before it goes to shit.
You look at this from an entry point of view, which is reductive. Okay, I'll tell you what you're supposed to do as a Changing game. A Changing game is you're supposed to inspire joy. You're supposed to inspire whimsy. You're supposed to inspire more than just the physical. You're supposed to give hope to people. You're supposed to give ideas and thought and concept. That's what you're supposed to inspire. You're supposed to be an inspiration to the people around you. That's the concept behind Changeling. And the reason why it's so anime-esque and so fucking fantasy is because that's what it is. It is fantasy made manifest. It's raw whimsy. It's raw belief. That's why it's so
whimsical anime. The magical whimsical animes of Elfen Lied and Evangelion.
I mean, look, let's look at this for example.
And Higurashi.
Look at this for example. When you think of anime, you think of Dragon Ball Z, you think of overtop fights, you think of dramatic things. That's changing. That's why the powers are so stupid.
Let's see, if you want to prove this point, we're between games on the Friday Uncensored. Do you want to run Changing?
Sure. Why the fuck?
Do you want me to eat my words, and this is how we're going to get the game off the ground with Fridays?
Fine. Fuck it. Fine.
Yeah, because Dan's Amazon game isn't going to be ready until 6 months, he told me.
God, fine. Fuck it. Fine. I'll start a Changing game.
You see, this is how you get people to get shit done. This is how you do it.
Just being an annoying little shitlord?
Yeah, my master plan went off without a hitch, and I got what I wanted.
In a master debater?
Yeah.
That's what Johnny does best, let's be real.
There's not a man alive that hasn't touched himself. It's not a thing.
Accidentally, sure.
Yeah.
You're looking at him.
So we're going into this. We've got horrible low energy this episode. Kyle's depressed, Ryan's depressed, and Greed's angry. So here we go.
Oh, whose fault was that?
So here's your changeling slot for this episode. We've forwarded out this episode for you that everybody's going to click off of.
Johnny, I wish you would stop this. Let the episode go. Let the episode go. I'm
the
going to stay with you, Johnny.
Unseelie.
I know where you live. I know where you live, and I will fight.
Unseelie Court. The Unseelie Court. That's what we're going on for this episode. Is there a villain in Changing Your Dreaming besides
yes.
the whole? It's a man versus nature kind of plot you have going on with Changing Your Dreaming, where the enemy of Changing Your Dreaming is the environment of banality, where just the world around you is trying to beat you down and get you depressed, and where actually I think it's easier today to run a changing game than ever before because you got people taking the black pill around the world. I mean, this is how Shoe on Head is making money right now.
3D Squeldon just doesn't see a point to living anymore. Oh, boo-hoo-hoo.
She is doing so well for herself. I completely forgot she used to be under the thumb of Armor Skeptic, and she's got her kid. She's doing so well right now. Yeah, I sent you through a memory hole with saying that name.
Yeah, I know. Like, how did we get here?
Yeah.
Why did this come up?
Some people just make the right perspective. Some people get over their eating hair obsession and make a good YouTube channel. And so going into Changing Dreaming, where besides banality being the villain of the setting, the other thing would be the Unseelie Court, which is the closest thing you have to a direct antagonist in this game. Well, there's also the Shadow Court, but the Shadow Court's supposed to be shadowy. You're not supposed to know it's there, is the point. Except for some of these people who openly know about the Shadow Court and openly deal with the Shadow Court. And also, of course, you have the Thelane, and you have the Fomorians, but the Fomorians aren't going to be a thing in your game until, the Times of Judgment. And that's it.
Johnny, you forgot about one. The Thelane you dickhead.
Well, I said the Thelane.
No, you said the Fomorians.
No, I said the Thelane before I said Fomorians. The evil versions of the Kith. And of course, who are the other people? They're not the Autumn people, but the people that go through a reverse chrysalis where they partially go to the metamorphosis and it stops halfway, and then they become serial killers.
Yeah, they're called anti-fate. They're wrong changelings.
Yeah, and you have those. So for the most part of your game, if you're going for a direct person-to-person conflict, the Unseelie Court will be the antagonist. Unless you're doing what more and more changing games are doing these days, and you say the Unseelie Court sounds pretty Kino, and then you place the Unseelie Court, and then the Seelie Court is your enemy for that game. It's a back and forth between these two. We're going to go over all 6 houses, along with some... we're going to go into a little bit of depth with the Shee as well, because the Shee make up the rank and file of all 6 of these houses. So, agreed. Who are the Shee supposed to be? What are they supposed to be? What dreams brought the Shee into existence? He keeps muting and unmuting himself, which is why I keep calling him on the spot.
Yeah, I hate you, Johnny. Why do you keep doing this shit?
Quit muting yourself.
No, I'm doing things. Okay, the dream behind the Shee is the beautiful noble.
Yes. The dream
why. Yeah, come on.
The dream that one day something will be yours. You'll be the master of your own destiny. You'll own the land. You'll have the wife. You'll have the kids. You'll own the home. You'll own the livestock. Something will be yours, and you control it. Is what that's
wrong dream. Wrong one.
See,
you're thinking about the boggin.
No, I'm the building part would be the boggins, but the ownership of it would be the Shee.
No, the idea behind the Shee, and this honestly, the Shee actually came from how nobility actually happened in real life. Because, I was born with more money than you, or I just somehow have more money, more resources, more authority and power. I have to look like I'm better than you. And that's where the idea of the Shee came from. The people who wanted to look better. And because that, they pampered themselves up and looked doll-like and got blessed by the church. Basically, they're the divine ruler figure that nobles tried to be. That's what the Shee are.
So you're saying it's more like dreams of superiority is what brought them into existence.
Yeah, that's exactly what they came from. The noble, beautiful leader.
Ryan, what vampire does that sound like? What vampire out there? Close.
Toreador.
Well, yeah, but the word I was expecting was Ventru. as well as hoping you would say.
That was my second guess.
But you play as one.
I played as one.
Oh, that game ended?
Oh yeah, a long time ago.
All right. Did you enjoy yourself?
It was all right.
It feels good being a Ventrue. It feels good.
Feels good to be the king.
And then with the parallel to the Shee and the Ventrue, who is the parallel to them in the werewolf side?
Silverfangs, I imagine.
Fiona.
Fiona. I wish it was the Fiona, but it's the Silverfangs. And then in the mage side, it is the Order of Hermes. And you notice between all the ruling sects, how many people like the Silverfangs in the universe?
I know one. Well, actually, no, not in universe. They don't. Nobody really likes them. Some respect them more than others, like the Furies and the Get, but nobody really likes them.
The pedigree they have, where they have the one achievement they did years and years ago that they lord over you, and that's what they want to. That's the only thing they have to their name, really. And then on the other side, you've got the Ventrue, who, once again, nobody really likes, but you have to put credit where credit is due. They do a good job. Then with Order of Hermes, where the Order of Hermes is extremely authoritarian, extremely prickly, but who else is going to get the 9 traditions on the same page? Nobody can. With the Shee, they have the same kind of attitude where none of the commoners have a nice thing to say about the Shee, except for the trolls, and the trolls only say that because of obligation. Because the trolls are the trolls, they have to say nice things about the Shee. But the Shee do such a good job in rulership that, once again, you have to just put your complaints off to the side and say, well, if I was in power, I would do a worse job than the Shee, so I can't necessarily complain that much. Sure, the boss is a dick, but do I want to be the boss? No. It's not like with a job I work where nobody wants to be a supervisor in this job, because they know about the fucking headache that's going to come from it. Where I'll have conversations with people saying, oh, the so-and-so, our boss did this. And I said, well, why don't you be the boss? They say, no, I don't want to be a boss. And that's exactly it. You can't hack it like the Shee can.
Yeah, there's like they were innately endowed with this. Despite all the Shee's prickleness, they're really good at actually leading and being in charge.
Their blood does indeed run blue. The Shee were born to be kings and queens. It is the reason they were made was to be in charge. And so nobody else can do it better than they can. Probably in terms of the designated leader factions in World of Darkness, the Shee probably do it the best between the Ventrue, Silverfangs, or Hermes and themselves. In terms of leadership. Well, I'm going to say if you're playing as a Shee, I'm going to say with the character creation, it would be mandatory for you to have 3 points in leadership. If that's a stat for Changing Dreaming, I might be forgetting. But you have that. And did the Shee really have a history? Come to think of it?
They had quite a few of them.
Yeah, because the Shee more or less just were there when Danu came in. She made all of the Shee people, and she said, I want you to be my rulers because you were born from the dreams of rulership. And so they did up until, like, there's like a whole like fast forward button whenever it comes to these books where just periods happen where the sundering happens and then the shattering happens, and the Shee en masse just abandon the Unseelie Court. Not the Unseelie Court. They abandon the material plane and just run into Arcadia and shut the gates behind them. Is what happens, and they're gone for centuries until 1970 comes around, and now we get into the actual story behind the Shee. Where when they come out, we'll reiterate this again when we do the Unseelie episode. But Greed, you put it in a way that I understood when you said that the Shee came back and they saw that the commoners were ruling. Where there was a reaction they had where the Shee came back and it said, okay, thank you for holding down the fort while we were away. Can we have our position back? What do you mean we can have our position back? What are you trying to do here? Where it was this visceral reaction they had where, sure, it was the Night of Our Knives. That's what it led to. But what would you say you were born to do, Ryan? What do you feel like you have a divine purpose on this world? Like there was something that you were called to do on this earth?
Nope.
All right. Now, let's say you had that feeling where you were given a purpose where this is what you're supposed to be here for. You find that out, and it feels good when you finally do figure it out. But You're told what your purpose is, and then somebody comes over and denies you the opportunity to do your purpose. That's the reaction that she had being told that they couldn't just assume the role of rulership when they returned from Arcadia. That's the whole issue they had.
Yeah. Like normal people, some of them could deal with it, most couldn't.
Where this is what I was born to do. You're going to deny me my purpose? And the only solution to that was, in most jobs where people just in leadership positions are just there forever, and the only reason and the only way a position opens up again is that that person dies. So she said, well, what if I just killed my boss? And then they did. So that was,
and then the war across Arcadia happened. Well, not Arcadia,
where the Beltane Night of Iron Knives massacre occurred, where they said, oh, let's just all sit down for a dinner party. Please ignore the knife I have underneath my chair before I pull it out and stab you to death with it. And of course that led to the Accordance War that went on for years and years until, Kyle, who was the house that put an end to it?
That I know the name of the figure. It was High King David. Of which house, I'm unsure.
House Gwydion.
The Griffin ones. Gwydion, yeah. The Griffin ones.
Where, in terms of how ridiculously strong the Shee are, we'll list off some of their some extra stuff you can get with the Shee as we go through this episode. But would you like to list off one of their art screed?
Chronos.
Which is the power to
manipulate time.
Yes. And how easy?
Quite literally, for one me, and this is sort of hard to do in roleplay, but basically you could say that one fight that you're about to lose, you say, I don't. Walk back in time, know what's about to happen, say get fucked.
At level 1 of Chronos, you can just cause somebody to lose perception of time. Now, take that idea and run with it for a minute. How much is that going to fuck you up?
Oh, severely.
Where if you combine that with the time spheres, the time realm as well. Where, Kyle, would you like to be in solitary confinement?
No. That sounds terrible.
And what's the main reason as to why you don't want to be?
Because you'll go absolutely batshit insane.
Because you got no windows, no clocks, no ideas how much time has actually passed. That's what's happened to you. Yeah. You got people that come out of that and they're fucked up for life after that happens. There's not who they used to be. So, first of all, you can cause that where you can just gaslight and break a man's brain with that ability.
Sign me up. I would use that time to fucking sleep. Next thing I know, it would be 10 years later, and they'd be like, Ryan, you're out.
And then there's my most favorite one, Sovereign. So I have to say this because Sovereign is so stupidly broken.
You took this
domination.
Power. You took this power when you played Changeling.
Yeah, I took it. Let me be fair here. I did not abuse it. I didn't abuse it. I tried to lose as little as possible, but Sovereign is stupidly broken. So dominate, right?
Yes.
For the people. So basically, I remember earlier in the last episode where you talked about realms and arts.
Yes.
I can use Sovereign on literally anything. I can tell the rain to stop flowing, and the rain will stop. I can tell the bullet to not fire, it won't fire. In the story.
Kyle, this is a spell mass suggestion from D&D, and you get this at character creation as a Shee.
That's kind of
if
fucked.
You spam it.
Yes, this is what I mean with the power system.
The best thing about Sovereign is you can't disobey Sovereign. You can only put it off. Unlike Dominate, where you could outwill it, Sovereign works continuously until you stop the person that used Sovereign on you.
It goes on for the entirety of a scene when you use this power. So if you want to just end any encounter in Changeling, you can do it with this power at character creation. And then
again, you got mid-maxing to get to that level.
And then Ryan, do you remember the name breakers when we were going over the Beast Courts? How powerful having somebody's true name is supposed to be?
That's just typical face stuff, though.
It is. And you get access to it with the Shee, where if you know something's true name, you basically can get to do whatever the fuck you want, is what naming is, ultimately.
Mechanics-wise, the difficulty on all roles related to magic, if you know their true name, drops by 5.
So you're making rolls at difficulty 2, involving your target.
No, 1. Yes, it dropped by 5. Difficulty is typically 6, so difficulty 1. Well, it caps out at 2, but you understand.
Yes. So as many points in your dice pool where you just fuck up a man for life for that power. So you remember where we've been going over just how mechanically busted some of these kits are. Now put that in comparison to the Shee, and find out just how broken you can be in Changeling.
Yeah, now to clarify, anyone can learn Sovereign or Chronos. It's just the Shee pretty much own that exclusively.
This is the TTRPG equivalent of a Kosoge game, where it's a fighting game that was not made with any sort of competitive intention whatsoever. It's just a fighting game that they made it that's just like to have fun or to be fan service, where the biggest example of that being Hakuto no Ken, where, of course, Kyle, you know what that is, the Fist of North Star fighting game, where in that game there's the full-on fucking basketball dribbling combo, where you just get a guy with a jumping hard punch, and you can loop the jumping hard punch forever. And that's it. That's your combo.
It's like the crouching leg spam kick from fucking Street Fighter 2.
And you just get stuck in that, and there's no way to escape it. Those are the kind of powers you have with Shee. And in terms of their birthrights, where they have, of course, the realm affinity, where the Shee that have not spent any time on Earth acquire an affinity. On beauty, where Shee gets 2 extra dots in appearance score, even if it takes them above 5 when they take it. And all their social roles, especially empathy and intimidation, are made at -2 difficulty.
Oh, I thought that's 20th edition, but in 20th edition, you can't botch on any social
roll. You can't botch an etiquette roll, and you can't botch an intimidation roll. And any cantrip that would indirectly make them look like an idiot immediately fails. And this can go by whatever definition you want for the Shee.
Yeah, no, to clarify, it's any magic that would make them look like a fucking idiot.
Yeah, if a Shee makes a mistake on their own, that's their own fault. But if someone tries to make them look like an ass, it's impossible. You can't do it.
If you couldn't tell, you're starting to understand my original idea of the noble ruler who cannot fail.
And it makes abilities like chicanery completely useless against them. You just cannot use that cantrip against them at all. And then go along with it, they're only frailties. There's only 2 weaknesses they have. Banality's Curse, where banality will fuck them up sideways if they get it. But once again, like we discussed in that video we made a few days before this, there's a way to alleviate it and there's a way to heal it. There are other issues that they're prone to depression, only because they see the world for the way it is and how much shit sucks. And how we probably can't pull any sort of victory around from it. It's just that bad. So those are only 2 weaknesses. But once again, both of those have means of getting around. Where, how do you get rid of that whole depression thing? Well, how about we just do aphrodisia, and we just spam aphrodisia a lot. We just get our rock stuff every day. We're instead of green, once again, instead of just being a metaphor for grown-up sucking, how about just growing up makes my dick not work no more, and that makes me sad. That's all I gotta do. Not enough men in their 40s are having sex. Not enough men in their 50s are either. See, we just need them. Every American just needs to fuck more. And just imagine how much happier we'll be.
This is why God in his infinite wisdom invented the Chevrolet Corvette.
This is why what we need to do is that we need to go ahead and legalize prostitution. We need to be able to legalize having sex in public.
Johnny.
The episode.
We're gonna live in a much more prosperous world if we do that.
Right, but
Johnny.
To stay on the actual real world, but to stay on the real world topic, actually, people do need to start having more kids. We are not producing enough kids for the next generation.
Japan just brought in a whole bunch of people into Japan, specifically for fucking.
All right, okay. I think we're getting a little bit too closer to. I think we're getting a little too political now. Let's move on.
Welcome back to the Boner Cast, everybody.
God damn it!
No, we're leaving that alone. Leave that politics alone. This is a gaming channel. Leave that shit alone.
It's not politics. It's sex. All right. So let's go ahead. Let's get into the houses. Let's go over to 6 individual houses. Ryan's got House Scadock for us, but we'll get to House Scadock towards the end of this. And I'm not going to talk. I'm not going to talk at length with every house. There's 2 of these that I'm going to go hard on, and then the other ones I'm just going to give you like what you need to know for your game. in regards to them. So we're not going to go over every single fucking detail. Where, for example, Kyle, if I was doing if we were doing an episode of Jewish holidays, I wouldn't spend 10 minutes talking about Shmini Atzerat or Tu B'Shvat, for example. All right. So let's start with the house that is the reason we have in an Unseelie Court to begin with, House Allele. How do you spell that, by the way? This is the spelling bee portion of the game.
What is wrong with you?
Yeah. It's Celtic. You're never going to guess it. You spit.
A-L-I-L?
A-I-L-I-L.
Ah, damn, I was close.
You were close. And this is their banner, by the way. That black dragon. Well, it's a silver dragon on a black background. See, what do we think of this? What do we rate this banner?
I would rate it would invade England with it out of 10.
And we have one specific character to talk about, that being one Lord Allele, who might be the biggest incel in World Darkness.
Damn.
That's saying
something absolutely guard as a person.
It's not his wife, but it's his sister that made him the way he is.
That's even worse.
Or during the whole creation of the Shee, where Danu made set up the Kithane, and she said, I'm going to give each one of you specific roles based off the dreams you had. There were 2 figures that were to be the leaders of the changelings altogether, or on Earth. And this was Eilund, I believe that is her name. It is, Eilund. Her name's weird. It's spelled Eiluned, is how you say her name. And Lord Allele, who we're going over for this episode. So they have this whole shtick where Allele is going to be the big ruler, and then Eilund is going to be the princess who's his advisor, and all the land and everything in it will go to Allele. And it sounded good, where I get to be king of the fairies, I get to be King Oberon. But you read Midsummer Night's Dream, right? You read that Shakespeare play?
I actually did not.
I agreed.
Actually, a little.
Who wore the... Who wore the pants between Oberon and Titania?
Oh, Titania.
Absolutely. So, how this story's version of Titania took hold is that Eilund said, I got a vision of the distant future where Kithane society and all the Fae are just completely screwed, and I have a solution to it, and that solution involves not you. She looks over at Allele and says, you want to be king? You can be king over there, and you can die alone. I'm going to take my people, and I'm going to actually start something that's going to last forever. And so she split from him and started what would be known as the Unseelie Court. And Allele's just looking at this going, what the fuck? Are you serious right now? I was supposed to be king of all the land, and you just delegitimized my rule in a single night. What am I supposed to do now? Kyle, what are you going to do in this situation? Are you just going to sit by yourself and just sing King Nothing on a loop forever? That's all you're going to do? King Nothing. So, this is what he looks like, by the way. We actually have official artwork of him.
He looks like Sephiroth if he went to Hot Topic too much.
It's super anime, isn't it?
That's a lot. Very anime.
My people were banished.
Does this look like a main antagonist to you?
I will have my revenge.
Oh yeah, no, he radiates antagonist energy.
Yeah, there's this evil aura off of this character.
I can look if you squint at the content in his contempt in his eye.
Or contempt.
Yeah.
Contempt in his eyes. I hate my tongue today.
Yeah, along with that, I think we actually have another image of him too. That's him on the right, and that's Eilund on the left.
We're gonna know
in between the two. So I think that perfectly does summarize the relationship. By the way, just
it does look like a panel from like a '90s manga or something.
And what makes this funny is they may look like a relationship, but they're actually not in a relationship. They're just siblings.
They're just siblings. But from how they acted around each other, you thought they would be husband and wife.
Yeah.
So Allele did not take it well with the formation of the Unseelie Court. So he does indeed do the bender. I'm going to make my own court with blackjack and hookers, and he calls it the Unseelie Court. How long did it take you to think of that name?
They want to be Seelie. Well, I will be Unseelie and destroy everything they stand for.
Yeah.
And their rule during the Mythic Age, control. Just that whole bit I said at the beginning, but emphasis on the control aspect. Where Allele said, anything that I can get my hands on, I will rule it with an iron fist. And he went around and said, any sort of tribe or forming kingdom in this Bronze Age, or anything that can become a Middle Ages kingdom, let's get our foot in the door, let's control it from the shadows. Let us turn the kings into puppet kings, and we'll be the real rulers behind the man. They never ruled out in the open. They never did that. Where Allele doesn't take credit for the things they do. They don't sign their names onto any projects that they do. But it's power for the sake of power. You're familiar with Niccolo Machiavelli? And how that man said it's okay to lie, cheat, and steal for power? Yes. If it gets you a direct profit. He influenced his writing. Not Allele himself, but his successors did. Just to give you a perspective of what kind of politicians they were. Where, is there a certain vampire clan this is starting to remind you of, by the way?
With Sombra.
Yes. Well, 100%. There's everything you saw that the Sombra doing, Allele was doing. But on the contrast, this is what Clan La Sombra would have looked like had La Sombra actually taken control of his own clan and ruled it. This is what it would have looked like.
Yeah, La Sombra was an actually competent ruler, and he had a very high standards about the people he sired. If he actually bothered to lead them, they actually would have been.
Yeah, he just went down to the abyss and the bottom of the ocean, took the black pill, and then lost his mind. And then supposedly was diabolized by Genovese. I'm very doubtful about that.
La Sombra, there's very few things I could even attempt to kill La Sombra.
Oh no, he's just on another level of power. It's just his depression gets in the way of it.
Yeah, no, La Sombra canonically is beyond the concept of death. I'm not even joking. The concept of death does not apply to La Sombra anymore.
Oh yeah, in times of Judgment Apocalypse, he just ceases to exist. In the final scenario.
Canonically, La Sombra left reality, then left existence. He doesn't.
And that's close to the level of power that Allele was on, by the way. Where
he was an ancient faith. Both of these two were terrifying, powerful entities.
I'm trying to think what god would be a good comparison for him? Something like Chernobog from Slavic lore would be a good comparison for him. I don't know enough about my Celtic deities to say if there's a one-to-one comparison with him, or we're going to get to a closer.
Isn't he the god of death?
I'm not really sure if Hades is an appropriate comparison for him, because he's more of a ruler, like a dark ruler than anything else.
I got one. What's the monster that nearly beat up Zeus? What's the name of that one? Typhon.
Yeah. I'm also thinking there's a few parallels between him and Set, in all honesty. Egyptian god and in and out of vampire as well. Well, so what happened with this dude? So what happens with Allele is that he decides he's getting his piece of set for his grand machination plan. The shattering happens. And while it goes on, the shattering where it becomes impossible for a fate to stay in the material plane, Allele stays behind while this is happening. He doesn't run to Arcadia, he stays behind because it's part of his plan. Where he's the only guy who's excited for the shattering to happen. He's been waiting for that moment. He's been waiting for all the other Shee to run back into Arcadia and slam the doors behind them. And when they do, he turns around, he's already embraced the changing way. And sure, he's only working at a fraction of his power by this point, but it's the smarts he's going off of. Where Kyle, that's what makes him dangerous. He has these powers, but it's his intelligence that makes him a dangerous antagonist in Changing Dark Ages. And his ultimate plan is that he doesn't die. He locks himself away in his Freehold realm. It's this little bubble dimension he has, where he locks himself away in this metaphorical gilded cage, and he's waiting for a period to come back, is what he's up to. And while he's doing that, he's written the 32 rules to power for all of his followers. They're reading this, and they're using it to try to manipulate as many things from the shadows as possible. If you were to take vampires out of the equation, name any grand political conspiracy, House Allele will be behind it. That's what it'd be up to. Kyle, what can you think of one off the bat? Like the assassination of Franz Ferdinand?
Yeah, that sounds about
for
right.
example?
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, that would be them.
That wasn't really political manipulation. That was just a Serbian nationalist. I'd say that this
canonically.
What?
Canonically, due to how bad World War II was involved, White Wolf has said no Splat was involved with that one. That was just humans.
They're covering their ass saying that. They're covering their ass.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, they don't know how to put that in. Actually, put that in any Splat.
If I had to better put like an idea of of how the Unseelie Sidhe would influence modern society, I'd say like no, that was the Bruja. That was also the Bruja.
I got one.
Do you think, Watergate?
I was thinking both the French Revolution and the Russian Revolution, but I'm like, no, those are both the Bruja.
Well, if it wasn't for the Bruja,
the vaccine one.
God damn it!
He's saying that as VAX-SCENE.
Basically, my point is there's a shadow government.
I gotta stop you there, buddy, because you're about to get this video taken off of YouTube and about to get us community strike.
All right. Stop.
But no, the House of would be behind Stephen Colbert dressing up as a giant booster shot and dancing on live TV. They would be behind that.
or that what's the name of that one extremely rich white family, the something Childs?
Rothschilds?
The Rothschilds, yeah. This is this house.
Yeah, like Rockefellers. They're the man behind the man, like the shadow government that you hear about. That's them.
Yeah.
And
when you sit down and actually tell, oh wait, they're the East India Trading Company. That's them.
Yeah, or the the Atlantic Fruit Company. Shit like that. Where you blame another guy for it, you blame a little guy for it, but it's actually House Allele that's in control of it. That's the whole game plan. And now, Kyle, why would they be doing this? Is it just power for the sake of power? Is that the scheme here?
Well,
or is there some?
It in one respect it could be, but the other thing is that the Unseelie's goal is to uproot everything that the Seelie have built. It's not so much dreams of grandeur and dreams of power, but dreams of being the one to uproot and usurp is the main goal of the Unseelie Sidhe.
Shadow Lords.
Basically.
Let me show you a picture, by the way. Let me just pull up this little picture here to fully explain just what makes House Allele so dangerous. Ryan, if you're paying attention for this is useful for you to know too.
Hey, it's a hammer.
All right, so you see it? So you see that? Where's that from?
Pink Floyd's The Wall.
Russia. Yeah. Now, have you ever heard of the real-life white supremacist group, the Hammerskins?
I actually have not.
That is a white supremacist group of skinheads that took this from Pink Floyd's The Wall and made it their icon. Now, the whole match commentary behind that part of Pink Floyd's The Wall was that the whole sequence of In the Flesh and Run Like Hell and Waiting for the Worms. It goes to show just how fascist regimes like this, or big men in power, take the simple, the banal, the easy to remember, and they weaponize it. That's the whole meaning behind it. So groups that see something like that then take it and use it as aspiration instead of condemnation. That's what happens. And that's the same kind of playbook that House Allele has. They're using banality as a weapon, not in the literal sense like House Baylor is doing, but in a more insidious kind of way. They're deliberately trying to set up banal places and banal regimes and banal rulership to make it impossible for the Unseelie Court to operate. If you want to know why it's so damn hard to harvest glamour and just exist in Changing to Dreaming, it is House Allele's direct fault for that happening, because they're trying to strangle you to death through boredom and through the banal. That's the game plan. They're trying to make it so that there is no way for the Unseelie Court to happen, leading to an eventual collapse of everything his sister built to prove that he was right. He would rather have a boring, dead, and dying winter world than a world in which he did not rule, is the plan here. That's what really sells House Allele as a villain for me. Where the mutual assured destruction villain. That's what gets me with this guy. What do you think of that?
Well, I'd say that sums up about as good as how Unseelie can be summed up. Slowly working away at everything they built.
And if there's one word that can really summarize the motivation of House Allele, fight is the motivation here. We're doing it because you're not us, and we hate you for it. That's the motivation behind the house. And that's why they make such good villains. Now, in terms of their values, they do say that some traditions are good. They want to make it sound like approachable and peaceful enough to the Unseelie Court. They're working with the Unseelie Court when it comes to trying to survive the Modern Knights while secretly trying to screw them over. It's very similar to the relationship between Starscream and Megatron, for all of your Transformers fans, where they say that they're trying to help them while slowly driving a knife into their backs, is what's going on here. Where, say, what's a tradition that you like, Kyle?
A tradition that I like?
Yeah.
For me, it's telling stories around the dinner table. That's what we do.
All right. See, telling stories around the table. And I will say, your stories are good, but what stories are you telling? Like your day at work and that kind of thing? Why are you waiting until dinner to tell the story? Why don't you tell the story before the dinner happens?
Because everybody else is doing everything else during the day. It's the one time we're all together.
Yeah, but instead of just having the conversation around the dinner table, you can just talk to them beforehand, right? Where, how about we just get you on a phone and you just do a conference call with the family, and then you just talk while you do the job.
Well, I mean, it's not the same then. Being in the room with everybody after a good meal, it feels warmer. It feels like home.
But it's more efficient for you to do it this way.
Yeah, but efficiency sucks, and you suck. So suck my dick. Fuck you. How about that?
And that's the thing they try to get you to do. They try getting you to slowly undermine what's traditional in favor of something that's more practical or cheaper or more reasonable for you to do. Slowly chipping away at the traditions that the Unseelie Court finds super important. Where they try, or like grander scales where the whole parliament, like the British Parliament does this whole shtick where it used to be the Queen, now it's the King, where I think it was the House of Lords writes this big speech, and they send over to the House of Commons, and then the House of Commons invites the Queen over to read the speech that was written by the House of Lords at the House of Lords, and it sounds like a big waste of time, doesn't it? And then the House Allele would say, yes, it is a big waste of time. Stop doing it. And you notice that there is a small erosion of culture when you do that, right?
Very much so.
The things that made you a people slowly get chipped away until you just have nothing, really. Until House Allele slides their ideas in and you're doing what they suggest instead. You see the insidiousness behind this, right?
Very much so, yes.
Where this really is just the Sombra if they were smart. It really is. It really is. And do they have a few ceremonies of their own? Well, yeah, they do have the sainting ceremony where you swear complete loyalty to House Allele, and you basically become their bitch. And they set up and say, oh, you're going to have all this power, all this stuff to your name. It's not going to be to your name. It's going to be to the house. They make you think you're going to be the strong one here, but no, it all goes to serve Allele, ultimately. It's a pyramid scheme.
Yep.
You notice.
It's communism.
And as for the education, there was one sentence that jumped out of my mind. It says, teaches politics as a blood sport. And
wow, that makes a lot of sense.
And Kyle, hearing that sentence immediately pulled my mind back into 2016, 2017 with Warski Live and the political blood sport debates on YouTube.
Oh, Jesus.
Where it's the white girl summer all over again. We're ready to bring back Richard Spencer. You ready to hear from him again, or who else? Who else is going to send you a memory hold? Sargon of Akkad.
Richard Spencer.
Back when he was relevant.
Oh, that's a name I haven't heard in a while. Isn't he that gay fascist?
He's now a Warhammer 40K YouTuber.
No, not Sargon. Fucking Richard Spencer, that gay fascist.
Richard. Yeah, he's a Fed, is what he is.
Is he actually? That would not surprise me.
He's control opposition.
That's funny.
Absolutely, yes. And so it's It's those kind of arguments with House Alil, where everybody's shutting into the microphone and like nobody sounds like they're taking a breath. Where at the same level of speech at speed as Destiny, for example, that kind of speed.
Successful rage bait, and the other guy's just sipping a coffee.
Would you like to get into an argument with a member of House Alil online? And it turns out they're streaming, playing a game of chess in one tab, on stake.com in the other tab, while reading their notes for the debate. That level of mental stimulation.
This is where the Athanatos in me acts up again.
That's the amount of cocaine that House Alil's just flying off of in debates. And they know about the Shadow Court, and they employ the Shadow Court. You know the accelerationists that want to cause the end of the world and cause an eternal winter because fuck existence and fuck living. So they're behind the gay ops that the Shadow Court do, where House Alil will pay them and set targets for the Shadow Court to do, and then they erase their name from the project, and the Shadow Court takes the blame for it when it was House Alil's idea to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that does sound good.
As for the codes of the Unseelie Court, we'll get into these fucking guys wrote the code. This is stuff they believe behind. We probably should have talked about this earlier, but we're going to go over it now. So tell me what you think of these plans. Change is good. Change is good.
Yeah.
Ryan, are you the same person that you used to be 10 years ago?
Yes.
Are you the same person you used to be 20 years ago?
No.
You got to think about that one.
Nope.
So that's the whole thing here. Change is just going to happen for you. It's going to come for you whether or not you're ready for it. And you're going to have to eventually adapt to those changes. Because, Cal, the landscape that we were in 10 years ago, it's completely different from the world we're living in today. You know, yesterday's friend is now tomorrow's enemy. So you have to be ready for that change whenever it happens. And you need to be on the ball for that change when that change eventually does come around. That's why House Alil says change is good. Because if you can get your foot in the door, then you're in control of the change, and it's to your benefit. That's the ultimate plan. Glamour is free, where this is more a bitch gotta do what a bitch gotta do to survive, is the whole thing here. The shattering happened, we've got next to nothing to our names anymore, all this glamour's running out of our hands, running through our fingers. We have to do whatever it takes to survive. So if we have a chance to get glamour, we're going to do it. Great, are you still muted? Yes, you are. Would you like to know what Rhapsody is, by the way, Kyle?
Rhapsody, as in an operatic piece?
Okay, Rhapsody. You know what? No, you
explain the process.
No, you do it.
All right. So Rhapsody, what this does is that you force a man into a point of eternal despair just to harvest a shitload of glamour out of him. Is what that does in a nutshell.
Yeah, it's similar. Basically, you force someone into such a point that they will only produce this much glamour ever in their life. But because it's a one-time thing, they produce stupid amounts of glamour. But they are essentially can no longer create anything ever again.
You essentially force the guy into a permanent level of suicidal depression.
Yeah, no.
Is what you do.
You basically kill their creative spirit inside them permanently.
Yes. So they say if you have to do that, go ahead and do it. If one guy needs to suffer for you to succeed, make him suffer.
Yeah, it's just in my personal opinion, if you're gonna do that to someone, kill them afterwards. Be merciful.
Exactly, or else you're just gonna be the most boring person for the rest of their life. You'd rather be dead than be boring.
Yeah.
Honor is a lie, is their other tenet. Where, Kyle, if House Alil makes a plan with you, and they say, okay, here's the contract, here's what we're going to do, here's the deal we're going to sign on to, and then it turns out that you lose everything before the deal goes through, they'll drop the contract with you. Because why should I honor my word to you if you're not going to help me? Or why should I believe what you have to say if you're not going to actually honor what you're going to say?
Because it's better to have good intuition on people before you give them a contract to sign, and then you'll know that if they do that, you're actually going to follow through on it. But then again, you can't rely on these sons of bitches for anything, so why would you believe them in the first place?
It's the thing here, where if someone has to suffer for you to benefit, make them suffer. If they can't if they can't follow through with what they've told you they're going to do, assume that they were never going to do so anyway. Go into any dealing you make with another changeling or another mortal with cynicism. Just assume the worst is going to happen out of the deal. It's better to go into it pessimistic than optimistic, because if you go in pessimistic and it goes out okay, then it's a surprise, right? It's a pleasant surprise. Instead of just going in with hope and then you're left with disappointment, and who wants that? Who wants to be let down?
Well, too bad. I'm optimistic all the time. Better luck next time, because there's always going to be a next time as long as I'm still breathing.
And finally, passion before duty, where you've only got one life, let's just live it up before we all just die, which is one of the core tenets of Changing the Dreaming. Well, the core themes of Changing the Dreaming. You've only got this face soul in you for 35 years tops. Make the most of it before you get memory hold and lose that changing spirit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. If you guys couldn't tell, these are the oaths of the Unseelie Court.
Yeah, and this is written by Mr. Allele himself. What he co-signs on, and the core believes that he formed after Alun screwed him over, because that really is what she did. Really is. He starts off as a victim, but you can see how he takes that victimhood and then makes it his point for power.
Where he'd be like, you know what? Fuck the world, fuck the woman.
He's basically Boogie 2988. Is who he is. If this character had the same, if he had the same body mass index as Boogie, he'd probably be less impressive as a villain.
Want me to go over the boons and the flaws of this house?
You can go over it, yes.
Okay. Now, if you choose to join up with House Elil, you get a boon. Now then, I'm using second edition, not 20th edition version of Changing when I say these boons.
Yes.
All members of this house have an impressive talent for magic. All cantrips cast by Kithanes of House Elil automatically gain an additional success.
Which is incredible. That's just incredible to you get that.
That is actually really fucking good.
You're going to notice that you become broken when you take an Unseelie oath.
Yeah, but you also give a lot of it. But and the flaw for this house is you are overwhelmingly curious, and an Elil must spend a point of willpower to avoid meddling in a mystery or becoming involved in a plot. Basically, is if someone's speaking shit, you must get involved.
You have to. You're not going to take any stink or slander on your name sitting down. If somebody's talking shit, they're going to get hit.
And because of this house's giant flaw of being involved in too many people's shits, all social roles are increased by one that know of the changing society.
So that's the fun thing behind this, guys. All right. See, next up, shall we go over House Bolar now?
Oh, not that house.
All right. So you've been seeing, I've been making a few comparisons between different Changing Dreaming houses and vampire clans when it comes to the Unseelie, specifically the Sabbat. This is our version of Zamichi. If House Allele is the La Sombra, House Bolar is 100% the Zamichi of this group. And tell me what you think of these guys, Ryan, with this as their icon. Yeah, they're trustworthy, right?
Always.
A snake climbing around your Rapunzel tower. That's the guy I want to do business with.
Straight up thought that was a hand.
A hand? Yeah. Well, it kind of works like that too. Like the snake wrapping itself around your hand and pulling you back.
No, the snake head. I thought it was a hand.
See, it's serving the same purpose, right? Because it's gripping onto you. So you're not wrong, but you're not right either. Yeah, it's I wish we had a few more like Rorschach ink block to kind of like things in World of Darkness. We're definitely not going to get up a 5th edition. So how much do you know about Celtic folklore?
How much do you know? Not a whole lot, in all honesty.
All right. So the thing with House Bolar, do you know Balor of the Evil Eye in Celtic myth?
I know Balor is the god of death in Celtic mythology, but that's about all I know.
Greed, would you like to introduce the concept of the Fomorians to the story? So this is fun.
Shit, sorry. So the concept behind the Fomorians, and I've already explained this a little bit here, because there's difference here. There is the original Fae, which are called
the Tuatha De Danann.
The Tuatha De Danann, and then there's the Fomori. So, like I said before, the fairies and the changelings are born of belief and fears and emotions. So where do you think the fear of plague, disaster, mountains falling, fire, monsters in the woods come from? That is the original Fomori. They are the original fears of every civilization. They are the fears of that army marching down your doorstep and destroying all that you love. That is the Fomori.
If you're familiar with the devil system in Chainsaw Man, Kyle, it's the same as that.
Oh.
Or
the oldest fears of man. That is the Fomori.
Or if you're familiar with the curses, the same curse system in Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yeah. For example, here the Horseman of Death could be a Fomori. No, the White Horseman, or is it the Horseman of Plague? I forget the name. No, he's the Pale Horse.
Where light spoilers for Chainsaw Man coming up in 3, 2, 1. They would look like this, Kyle.
Well, it's okay. I don't know how the hell I'd watch Chainsaw. What the fuck is that?
It is the Fire Devil.
Yeah, it's pretty freaky.
Yeah, okay, doesn't matter. I forget the exact name of the horse. I'm pretty sure the people in the comments are going to get me for this. Point is, the horseman that brings plagues and disease could be a Fomori.
Exactly that.
And because these are the oldest form of Fae, and these Fae never went through a chrysalis, they have their original powers. They never were diluted by being partially human. Meaning this thing could walk through a city and instantly kill it with disease.
At times, the judgment scenario in Change to Dreaming is about the Fomorians coming back to the material plane and destroying the world. That's something that happens. So Kyle, it's mankind's first fear of fire, first fear of lightning, fear of darkness, fear of heights, fear of falling, fear of being stabbed, fear of being alone, fear of drowning in the ocean, fear of dangerous predators, fear of death itself. Is what the Fomorians are. Mm-hmm. And there was no stronger Fomorian than Bolar of the Evil Eye. Where let's get an artistic depiction of him. Bolar of the Evil Eye. What picture do I want to? Oh, another one looks fun.
For the people in the audience, there is a difference between spirits and fae. There is a difference, people. There is a difference.
There is. Let's see here. Are you telling me this image is too large in resolution for us to use?
Lol. Lamau even.
Let's see here.
Just send it directly to Colt. Let's see what happens.
Let's see, copy image. Let's try that again. It's okay, now it's coming through, Kyle. Give it a little bit. Yeah, that's what Bolar looked like.
Oh, what the fuck?
It's an idea.
Yeah.
I don't know, that beard looks rather kindly though, I will say.
Looks like something straight out of my nightmares.
So that's him. So that big eyeball that he has, if he looks at you, not if you make eye contact with it, if he just looks at you with that eye, you die. Simple.
Damn.
If he just look. So Kyle, this is the same Bolar that almost killed the Fianna as a tribe.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, same guy.
Well, I mean, how are you gonna fight something where it's like if he looks at you, you just collapse over dead?
See, well, what happened is that he needed somebody of his own blood to fight against him. The guy who fought him and killed him would be one Lou of the Long Arm, where what people did not know Lou was that he was the grandson of Bolar, where through probably just sheer luck, Blue managed to come in and he was the one that killed Bolar in a fight. After Bolar died, any hope of the Fomorians taking over the world died with Bolar, and they all just retreated back into the ocean, into the deep dreaming, so to speak. Once they were in the deep dreaming, a wall was put around Arcadia that kept them out, and now they're just blocked back into the deep recesses of human minds, just in a world where they can't touch anybody, waiting for the day that yeah, they're still there, but they can't touch you yet.
Yeah, there's three classifications. There's a white tree court, the red tree court, and the black tree court.
And they're all waiting for that barrier to go down so they can destroy the world all over again. Because they're waiting for it. It's very similar to the premise we had in Ragnarok with the worm opening up the hole to Malpheus and letting all of his evil creatures come out. Yes. Same premise as that. But Lu won, and this was a guy who was never going to get promoted because he was physically deformed. How do you think he got the name Lu of the Long Arm to begin with?
He's probably got really long arms.
Just like one long arm.
And unproportional arms.
Where, to give you an idea as to what that looks like, see, the badass psychos from Borderlands 2. You did not get that far into Borderlands, so let me just show you what this enemy looks like. Okay, copy this image. Lu's proportions would look something along the lines of this. Fun, right?
He looks dumb.
There it is. So, yeah. And that's the guy that killed Bolar. That's the guy.
That laptop.
So,
like Quagmire.
So he comes in where... so this guy comes in, gets the win, and you know how the Fianna have this oldest superstition about the deformities? Where anyone who's deformed, they won't give any sort of position. That started with the Changelings in the Fae. Where if you had any sort of deformity, you wouldn't get shit, you were untouchable, nobody had anything to do with you. But this guy just broke our rules because he's deformed, but he's the one that killed Bolar. We have to acknowledge him. We can't just say, oh, no, it didn't happen. We can't just attribute it to someone else. The honor has to go to his name. So Lu got a position. He got his own little kingdom to himself. And here's a little secret. Lu didn't tell anybody that he was Bolar's grandson. Nobody knew that. And that Fomorian blood was still speaking to him. Where it's this evil voice in the back of your mind that says, get ready for a rulership. Get the stage set so that when we return, we'll take over the world. And Lu's saying, yes, grandfather, I'll do exactly as you ask. So he's over here getting his heir set for when he eventually dies to take his place for this grand scheme of taking over the world. His Fomorian blood gets diluted over generations, where it's to a point where people that come from House Bolar do have deformities to them, but they're very slight, they're very hard to see. It's very similar to the Silverfangs, isn't it, Kyle? Where every single one of them has a deformity or they're fucked up in some way because the gene pool is just that screwed.
Inbreeding.
And the heir to Lu after he died was one Cathal. Would you like to see his picture?
Sure.
Sure.
He's a fun-looking guy. Yeah, that's who take over the house. This dude.
Oh, yeah, he's totally a rulership material.
He did a little bit too... He did a little bit too much crack in his life, don't you think?
Nah.
Oh, what you talking about?
Nah. He had a fight. No. He had a fight with a slanted tail that he won.
Hey, that's what happened to him, yes.
Like he has the third eye.
And his whole claim to fame is that he just talked shit about Lu, and that's what gave him his popularity. He had no respect for anyone above his station. He said, everybody that came before me didn't know shit. I know everything that's going on, and I'm the one who's going to lead my house to greatness. And we're going to call ourselves House Bolar as a joke.
I know all the shit. Nobody else knows shit. I regard the shit.
Life is like a box of chocolates.
You never know what you're going to get.
It all looks like shit.
And that's his whole claim to fame, where he was a good ruler in all honesty. But every single ruler that has taken his place over the years, it's been this little evil master plan that's been passed down from year to generation to generation to generation from everyone in House Bolar. And you want to know who caused the Shattering, by the way? Because Order of Reason certainly helped in it, but you know who caused Order of Reason to write changes out of consensus? These fucking people. These people. Where...
Oh.
Well, to an extent. But Ryan, here's the plan. House Bolar, in order to generate glamour, is that they're going to skin dance as the Fomorians. They're just going to go around from place to place and just beat the hell out of you. We're just going to go around and just beat you to death and cause terror, set your home on fire, massacre everybody, leave the kids alone in the woods to become scared of everything, torment everybody, and just cause as much terror as possible. That's the
I
plan.
can get behind that.
And then while they're doing that, a B team goes around while this chaos is going on. Because here's the thing. We're going to talk about this a little bit early. Greed, what is the key power of House Baelor?
They can handle cold iron.
They can just take cold iron, you know, Ryan, the thing that usually kills a Fae if they come in contact with it. They can just hold it in their hands, and nothing will happen to them.
The reason why I think it likes this, the reason why now this is the 20th edition here, but at difficulty 10, you can soak cold iron, which you naturally shouldn't be able to do as a Fae.
That should destroy a Fae, but House Baelor can do it.
The reason this is my theory why is because the House of Baelor is so built up on so much destruction that the destruction of a cold iron doesn't work on them. They're
because
so destructive.
It's in their blood, after all.
They're so destructive.
So what they did is that they took all these different, I'm not even sure if they were iron knives. They were probably just bars of iron that they just pulled out of a forge. They went after the powers that be, those who are eternal, the true Fae and the inanimate, and they beat them to death with the iron bars. That was the whole scheme. And why did they do that? Because they hated them. Plain and simple. They needed them to die in order to make room for the Fomorians to return. That was the plan. And them doing so led to those who are eternal hitting the panic button, where the message got passed around from House Baelor's killing us to banality's killing us to we can't exist in the world anymore. They all retreated, Arcadia's gates slammed closed, and that was the end of that. That was shattering. And that was all by design and all on purpose, what they did.
Yeah.
So
what makes this worse is, even if the Fae were to go away, the Fomori wouldn't.
No. The Fomori can come back at any time.
Because the Fomori, yes, just like the Fae are built on an emotion of feeling, the Fomori are built on fear.
And they're waiting for the day for that wall to come down that's keeping the Fomorians out, so they can just go back to destroying the world and ruling through fear as they used to do in days of old. That's the plan. So when I compare them to the Zimichi, that you see why I'm making the comparison now. Where out of all the groups, Ryan, these are accelerationists who are intentionally trying to cause apocalypse scenarios so they can reap the benefits of the power from the crisis. It's Hegelian dialectics. You cause a problem, and then you offer the solution to the problem that you caused, and it gets you power.
You're all thinking money here.
Yes,
you must be all thinking here. You can see how House and Neo can still be around. How the fuck does House Baelor still stay around? The reason why they're not obvious about it.
Yeah, they're not obvious.
Obviously, they made a deal.
Yeah, they don't leave a card. They don't leave any calling cards behind what they do, which is why. Where along with that, nobody takes them seriously either because, well, after all, look at what Cathal looked like. Look at what their leaders look like. Are you going to take a man like that seriously?
Yeah, I forget the exact name, but I heard someone use this title to describe them, and it fits so well. The antagonist.
Where, for example, Ryan, you don't look at somebody who has cerebral palsy walking down the street, and you don't think he's dangerous when you see him. You're not going to think that.
To be fair, I think everyone's dangerous.
Everybody has capacity to do dangerous, but if you look weak, if you sound stupid, nobody's going to suspect you. Nobody's going to think that. Where, after all, like nobody's in fear of their lives from say the mentally retarded, for example. Nobody's worried about them until they show you just how dangerous they can be.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. Because after all, anyone has the potential to be a dangerous man, but there's certain phenotypes or personality types that you suspect more than others. House Baelor doesn't look like that. House Allele looks like it, but they don't.
I just realized one little cool character concept for House Baelor. Basically is he has glowing eyes, but only one of his eyes glows.
Only one of it? Is that the whole King K. Rool eyes going on with him?
Yeah, like you would in the darkness you would only see one glowing eye, but if you were to see him in person, he has two eyes.
And the other flaw to House Baelor is that they can't have a permanent willpower score above 6. That's just the other thing about them. And basically that's the whole thing. That's the whole shtick behind House Baelor. You cause problems for the house to solve, and that's it. Great, isn't it? It's the same as the Zenmichi running around causing problems, and then the La Sombra come over and rebuild from the fires that they made.
Hold on. The Zenmichi doesn't fit them right. It's the Bali fits them more. The Bali.
You're going to go ahead and say Bali.
They're more Bali than Zenmichi.
Because the whole like Dark Master aspect to it?
Yeah, and at the end of the day, Zenmichi may be bastards, but they don't want to end the world.
No.
The Elder does.
The eldest does, but...
True.
But after all, they're not trying to... the average Zenmichi isn't some sort of like world-ending mastermind, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
So look at these pictures from House Bolar. I found this picture.
What the fuck is this?
What the fuck?
What is this? Worm god?
I don't want to know.
This is a weird picture.
It's this guy on the bottom is doing like the whole like MAGA chud like Wojak face.
If you'll please consult the graph.
This is what the MAGA base looks like in 2025.
The
fuck is that again award?
Why hold on. Why is the she giving fuck? Why is the she giving me fuck me lines?
I don't know if that's what those are.
That's her deformity. She has constant bedroom eyes.
Oh.
Everybody thinks she's a cock-loving slut, but it turns out no, she just looks like that. She's just droopy all the time. Ryan, do you want to go over House Scadock now?
I can. Would you look at that?
Now let's go over House Scadock. We're going to do a brief intermission with the houses to go over House Scadock. Where I'm trying to teach you wrestling terms. These are the tweener, so to speak, where they go back and forth between being Seelie and being Unseelie, is what the House Scadock does. And they contribute to the meta plots, which is why we're talking about them now. And here's their banner. Here's their banner, by the way.
Beat you to it.
You got me. You did it. Ryan's on the ball for this time. Ryan's got the energy.
Yeah.
All right.
So
you don't need to go over every detail about them. Just tell us like what you found interesting and important about them.
So they are one of the noble houses in the city, and they remain unaligned to neither the Seelie or the Unseelie courts.
Now they say that, but in practice, okay, continue.
I was just gonna leave it at that. No, they've been through a couple of wars. They've got the war on trees. They've got the second war, whatever that was, or maybe it was the second battle of.
We probably could do just like an episode alone on just the amount of wars that House Scadock has been a part of.
Yeah, I'm looking at the fucking little scroll wheel on the side, and it's like fucking tiny.
Like here's the second battle of Mortura. Here's the play-by-play as to what happened in that war. You notice just how detailed Changeling Dreaming gets.
Yeah, no. Even though they didn't have a lot of books, they put a lot in each book.
Oh, these books have so much content in them. So much content.
There was a couple people named Indek and Morian.
And they look like this, Kyle. Let me just go ahead. Let me just post this picture for you. Yeah, they look like that.
That is terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus.
See, a snake or a centipede?
I think it's both.
Yeah.
A snakeipede.
Snakeipede. Yeah.
It just sounds wrong.
He'd be very fun to touch.
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
His sword is the Sword of Kethra, which is a fearsome silver stormy night with an emerald simmering above the hill.
You can buy it at a pawn shop.
Yep.
And then what happened next?
There was the Scadock, whatever it's called, and the Sundering.
Her name is Scadock.
Scadock and the Sundering.
No. Now, Brian, do you know who Scadock is in terms of Celtic myth?
I have no idea.
You're familiar with Athena, right?
Yeah.
Greek goddess of war. She's their version of Athena.
Oh, okay.
Basically. And I really like the Shin Megami Tensei depiction of her. Let's say this is her for the purpose of the story. That's what she looks like. Yes. I really like the design on her. Yeah. You were saying about her?
So the Fomorians were creatures of nightmare.
Keep going.
As they retreated, a vital spark left the world. It was to this troubled era that the Scadock dynasty was born. Many of the Tuath departed the Autumn World, leaving Fae without their guidance, and Morrigan was among the first to go. Indek, she knew, had not been fated to die, but to play his part in the final times. So I'm assuming Indek stayed behind.
Yeah, but basically what she did is that she said, if nobody's going to stand up and take rulership, then I'll do it, damn it. If nobody's got the stones to be a ruler, then I'll be a ruler.
Scadock grew up between two worlds among the human villagers of Albion and a tribe of Sluagh, who would remain loyal to Tuath.
Yes.
She had a big reputation as a hunter, a warrior, and a sorceress.
Oh, damn. If you read her myths, absolutely.
As she grew, she gained a lot of fame among outsiders as a teacher of martial arts. And
she did, yes.
I guess one of the people she taught was Cuchulainn.
Cuchulainn. Yeah, was she the teacher of Cuchulainn who taught him the...
Cuchulainn is how you pronounce it.
My apologies.
Yeah. That guy who could do the warp spasm, the guy who impressed Queen Mab enough that she had to fuck him on the spot. That guy.
I want to say one thing about the original myth. She had this thing called a certain spear. Basically, if you got stabbed by the spear, and I want to finish this. You got stabbed by the spear. Roots from the tip of the spear will go throughout your whole entire bloodstream through all your blood vessels. Then thorns will pop out of your blood vessels.
You just had to poke you once with it, and that was it. Yeah, that was it. And in terms of you're looking over this, and Ryan, you're realizing who she's training, right? You realize this? The Fianna, my guy.
Oh wait, that was her?
So, yeah, where it turns out that Cuchulainn is he's a Fianna Arun in this lore.
Holy shit.
This is the one that trained them. So the woman who taught the Fianna how to fight, that's her. That's
fucking insane.
That's awesome, isn't it? This character's so fucking cool.
I dig her. I'm on board.
Let's see. Ryan, what else we got about her?
She was a completely different leader from other people of other city.
Yes.
She was born to the purple, and they ruled as a traditional dictator.
She's arthritis, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
That she's the perfect wife. She's trad.
Oh dear Christ.
Morrigan broke authority, refuting the patterns of fate.
Yes.
Millennia passed, and Scadock grew from warrior queen to something more. I'm going to say that wrong. Puissant?
Yeah, that's right.
And subtle. At her behest, her house divested itself of all but a few strongholds, traveling both the Autumn World and the Dream. They saw how the world was changing. This was before the Shattering.
Yes, so this is before the Shattering. So she could see the Sundering happen in real time. She knew what the writing on the wall was going to be. Yeah. So then what happens next?
They had a war of trees.
War of trees? I wonder who they were fighting in that war.
I'm guessing trees.
Yeah.
No, Fomori.
It was the Fomori. Well, that was the war that killed Bolar. Just let you know.
Yeah, no, the war of trees, like I said earlier, the red trees, the white trees, that was the courts of the Fomorians.
Yeah, but we say trees because that's how fucking tall the Fomorians were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can visit them in the dream. You can visit their courts in the dreaming, by the way.
Yeah, you don't want to though.
You don't.
And what did she do during this war, Ryan?
She did a bunch of things.
Kick some ass.
Yeah, essentially, being the warrior queen that she is.
And
the conflict quickly escalated far beyond the scale set by the last war. The Fae learned that the Octriliac was not dead as once believed, but directing the cruelest of the Fomorian courts from deep within the Winterwear.
And
yeah.
And there was one massive accomplishment that Scadock had. So, you know how Lugh killed Bolar? Scadock killed one of their 3 kings, the White King.
Yeah.
And she did that, yeah, she did that all by herself, but at the cost of Scadock's prowess in combat. Because she did get hurt in the fight, and it was an injury that had to forcibly retire her. Is what happened.
That's still highly impressive.
Yeah, she managed to kill one of the chief fears of humanity.
That
level of badassery.
Good, I'd say.
Yeah, if she were to fight one of the aspects of the Tyrannic Worm, she probably could beat it. Just to put the power scaling into perspective with her.
Yeah, if to put it to make sense here, if you don't get it, the changelings and the Fae are conceptual entities. They fight with concepts, not physically.
They're on the level of the Melgen Incarna, so to speak.
Yeah, that's basically for more. Yeah.
See,
and to summarize this real quick here, for people that don't get this concept confused, the changelings, the Fae, and the Fomori are the emotions behind the things. Spirits are the embodiment of the aspects of existence. That's the difference.
Yes. And there we have it. Ryan, what comes next in the story?
The Shattering.
The Shattering.
Yeah. So with the Fomorian's second defeat, whatever was left of the Tuatha departed for good. And Scadock's, I can't remember, last
Scadock.
Orders, Scadock, was for her house to stay behind to test themselves against the winds of banality.
You just kicked the ass of the Fomorians. You can survive whatever comes next. You got the stones to take it. Come on, let's not be pussies, all right?
And because the Scadock have never been one to one from a fight, when they saw the banality as no foe, they saw the banality as no foe different from any other.
Yes.
Many commoners fell upon them in a murderous rage. Even the Scadock were not immune. Nor were the Scadock without sin. They carried out edicts of the Morphean oracles, securing trods in near and far dreaming. Some of them were not above seeking vengeance against the departing nobles.
Come out there. Rose, what are you doing down here, cat? Come here. Come here. She's just looking at me.
He's taking a cat break.
You gotta do this creepy thing. We're trying to do an episode here, and you're staring at me from around the corner of this door. All right, continue.
Cats just do that for some reason. They do that to check on you.
Yeah. She just came down here. Hey, still alive? Cool. Okay. And then she just left.
That's what animals do when they look at you.
So after the second battle of Moitura, the sword of Tethra laying under heavy guard as
Mathkin.
Yeah, that. With the war of trees, however, the surrounding fucking word had become a poisonous swamp.
Yeah.
Blotkirda had become a poisonous swamp. As House Gwyndian departed the near dream realms, the members insisted that the sword accompany them into Arcadia. The oracles foresaw calamity if the sword entered the heart of the dreaming, and the Scadock attacked Gwyndian, attempting to move it.
And
the blade disappeared into the surrounding dreaming, and sorry,
now nobody gets it.
Sentence. Yeah, essentially.
And now nobody gets it. Nobody gets a hold of the sword. And you can go ahead and you can skip the interregnum because nothing fucking happens during the interregnum.
Yeah.
But
that's the point where they're all just like sitting there in fucking Arcadia, just sipping glasses of wine, like, oh dear, I do wonder what the commoners are up to. Oh, they'll probably be fine. We'll return in a couple of centuries when, all of that blows over, and then we'll go back to running things as usual. Yes.
I mean, to be fair, when the commoners rejected, the she did proceed to kick everyone's ass.
Yeah. And then by this point, Scadock has died, and her face spirit has reincarnated, back into the cycle. By this point in the story. So, then we go over into the resurgence of 1969, and then all the Scadock come back. Well, no, the Scadock never came back. The Scadock were there to begin with. They're one of the houses that never left, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Scadock stayed around after the Shattering happened.
Yeah.
And then,
for people that's confused, when we say that she left, I mean like 90% of the she. There still was some she that got caught up.
They just went into dreaming and just chilled out into dreaming and lost their minds.
Yeah, a majority of the she was left. As something said.
And then Ryan to kind of summarize what happened after this. Like the Scadock played both sides, is what they did, where they agreed that the she needed to take over and start being the rulers again, but they were disagreeing as to how the she were doing it. Where sure that out of our knives is wrong, there should have been another resolution to it. Was what their opinion was. Where we needed to assume rulership again, but not like that. Is what it is. So how Scadock is one the cool she, so to speak, where they're able to help out and mediate with the commoners, but
they are the hedge knights.
Yeah, it's the group who are able to walk amongst the king and queens and yet sleep in dives and eat pork and beans to quote Dusty Rhodes.
Actually, to be more accurate, Ryan, can you mind telling us the boons and the flaws of this house?
The boons and flaws of the house.
No, he just left. I'll do it here.
There it is. All right, you just.
Now to clarify, I'm using. Yeah. To clarify, I don't have the earlier edition, so I'm going to use the 20th edition version of this house.
Well, the 20th edition one's cool.
Yeah. Basically, they get when they don't choose to fight, they get a -1 to all difficulty on all stealth rolls. And if they choose to fight, they get +1 dice on all brawl and melee rolls,
which is awesome.
Yeah, but
these guys will kick your ass.
Yeah, these are the Yeah, and their flaw is because of their constant
that luster battle.
No, you said here they can talk amongst the nobles. That's not quite so true. It's because they slum it with the commoners so much and so often they actually get a +2 difficulty to actually talk with the other nobility.
Yeah, you're not cool enough. You're not posh enough to hang out with us. Hoity-toity shit.
Yeah, basically it's like, yeah, this house is full of a lot of badass warriors, but because they love to slum it with people, there's a limit.
There is, and they're pretty chill when it comes to the commoners too, where they don't really have anything bad to say about any of them until it comes to the puka.
Yeah, how to put this here? I forgot the name. I call them hedge knights. These are not hedge knights. What the questing knights? No, knights errant.
Yes.
Then the knights who go around helping people.
So Kyle, these are nobles who actually do something. Is this character?
These are a competent fucking noble.
Hold on, they didn't say they were competent nobles. They just go around helping people. There's a difference.
Yes.
It's better than what the rest of fucking she did.
Oh, I found it. Here's the canon picture of what Scott looked like in this continuity. That's what she looked like. It looks like the armor is her arms in that picture.
Yeah, it kind of does actually.
Well, that's just very fucking armor. It's so skin tight. It's basically.
Imagine it's very uncomfortable.
And we got 70 minutes and counting. And now for the other 4 houses. Thank you, Ryan, for getting us started on that bit. So you go along with this. All right, what is up next? Should we go over? Do you want to do these in alphabetical order? Last point. Let's see, because the next one is House Asen. If you want to go over them, shall we go over House Asen? I think. Let's just go ahead and let's do alphabetical order. Let's do House Asen next.
Is Ryan mooted again?
Trying to figure something out. Knights Errant, yes.
Yeah, Knights Errant. That's what this house are. Knights Errant. Sorry.
See?
So sorry.
Yeah. So, Ryan, thank you for helping us out on that segment.
Yeah, no problem. Sorry, I had a...
Yeah, you had a shit. You had a shit.
No,
Kyle, put that owl up on the screen.
An owl? Oh, yeah, that's an owl. Look at that owl.
All right, we're going over House Asen next. What do we think of this banner?
It's got big eyes.
Asen.
See, we got the dude. So, what do you think these guys are with a name like House Asen?
I don't know what Asen means, but given by the sigil, I imagine they're spies.
See, they are Nordic, by the way.
Ah.
This is your equivalent to the Fenris, so to speak.
Okay,
or the Bruja Anti-Tribu.
Really?
So their whole beginning is that it started with another brother-sister conflict, where basically it was two siblings who couldn't decide who's going to take over the house, where House Asen never really rose to power until after the Fomorian War ended, where the two siblings in question, it was, if I'm getting their names right, it was Vanes and Aesir, who were the two who were fighting each other, where Asen was, those are groups. Vanes is the brother, and then Asen was the sister, where the two of them were like co-leaders of the house, but they were going down different roads. You've heard the whole parable, and a cart cannot be drawn by two oxen heading in two different directions. You've heard that. So that was the case with House Asen. So Asen is trying to constantly compromise with her brother, and he's not having any of it. He's not listening to a single word she has to say. So the only thing I can do for you is I gotta kill you. Where they have this whole fight where it's this, it's the knight that decides what they're going to look like. It's called Vengeance Night, is what it's called. Vengeance Night, where right after the war with the Fomorians ends, how Asen immediately turns her sword onto Vanes and challenges him. The two of them have this massive fight, and it ends with Asen winning. You notice there's a few similarities here between House Alil already.
A little bit.
It's where it seems that a lot of these houses just seem to form from disagreements. So he dies, and Asen takes over as the new leader. Where how she leads, the whole shtick with House Asen is basically Nordic expansionism. Is the whole thing here. You rule through power, you rule through expansion, you rule through combat, is what they do. These Fae, just like the fight. It's an episode of Itchy and Scratchy with these guys.
Oh, I get it. The last house was a house of noble warriors. This is a house of duelists.
Yes, they just say, hey, you looked at me funny, time for me to kick your ass. Oh, it's 10 o'clock, time for me to kick your ass. I spread butter on my bread. Time for me to kick your ass, and that's the whole thing with them. Where, if you go anywhere near House Asen, these are people who just kill each other in a dreaming for fun. The fun thing about being in a dreaming, Kyle, is that when you step into it, you respawn at the trod you came in through. So, what do you think they do for fun in Valhalla?
Well, they feast, they fight, and they fuck. It's what they do.
That's what they do. They just go ahead and chop each other's heads off for fun, and then you just respawn outside the trod, go back in and do the whole thing all over again.
Hey, bro, check this fucking axe I got out. Yeah, bro, that's pretty good.
You got an axe instead of your face. You know that.
Yes, it's very well. I'm impressed with it.
As for their culture, the women lead this house, by the way. It is a queen who rules it. Who fills in the same position as Asen, but the men are the fighters of this. The women rule, the men fight. That's the whole shtick behind it. Not to say that the women can't fight themselves. The women in this house are pretty badass as well. There are Valkyries. It's say the Gefemris if the Valkyrie camp ruled it, is what they would look like. And of course, they have many shticks where right makes right. If you can hunt, if you can go to war, if you can go berserk, you're going to have a position in House Asen. If you can't do that, then get the fuck out of here. We got no use for you. They also have a deep tie to nature. They all have an innate ability to just talk to the trees. Not the trees. Talk to animals is what they can do.
Yeah, that's weird. You would think they would get some bonuses to fight. No, they can talk to animals.
They're the Lorax Shee is what they are.
Yeah, you can speak. Now, this is a 20th edition version. They can speak to any non-domesticated animals.
Without the use of primal, by the way.
Yeah.
You can just do this. Kyle, you've been playing Baldur's Gate 3.
As much as I can, but it's been once again put on hold by bullshit, but yes.
Are you going to play as a druid anytime soon?
I might at some point. I don't know. See.
Now,
go ahead.
When you wild shape into a druid, you can speak to the animal NPCs, and there's a unique conversation with every damn animal in this game.
Jesus.
Except the animals in Baldur's Gate 3 are fucking weird.
Well, yeah, the animals.
Get so weird. No. It feels like the animals were all voiced by their Nord DM who said, "You know what? Fuck you." They sound like this now.
See, you have like normal conversations with the dog Scratch that you find, where you have a normal conversation with Scratch, but then you meet the frogs, and then you meet the Celtic Scottish spider who speaks with the super thick accent, and she just fantasizes and like she sounds like she's cooming over the idea of drinking your blood when she sees you, along with the Barretts trying to have an argument with Volos.
See, I know that like if you try to fight the frog, it just fucks your shit.
Yeah. Just all these like this weird animal kind of, especially when you talk to the gnolls, the hyenas before they turn into gnolls, and the shit they say to you.
Just mad talking shit.
Yeah, that's the experience you have as playing House Asen. You're thinking to yourself, "Oh, I'm going to talk to animals. This is going to be awesome. I'm going to have my wacky animal sidekick from Jack and Dexter," and then it turns out the animals have a lot of weird shit to say to you.
Yeah, but because you're part of House Asen, you will throw hands with that animal.
Yes, exactly. You're going to look over at a bear and go say, "Hey," and he's going to say, "Fuck you." You say, "Fuck you," and then next thing you know, you and this bear are having a fist fight. And that's the premise here.
Oh, phenomenal.
I love House Asen already. You wouldn't expect the berserkers from the owl.
And do they value their own bodies? No. They have no value on the human flesh. They say, "We're not the body. We are the changeling spirit. This body, it's vestigial. We can just get rid of it and get rid of it whenever we want. So if we go into battle and we suffer these horrible, disgusting wounds, we lose our eyes, we lose limbs, who cares? Who gives a shit? We'll just die anyway in the next battle, and then we'll just go ahead, reincarnate, and get put in a body all over again, and the game starts all over again."
Oh my god, they are actual berserkers.
Yes, they don't give a shit.
Oh yeah, and this actually flows into their flaw. Because they have such a disconnect from acting like a person and being a fae and also the bestial selves, they can't gain glamour through raptures.
No, it's not possible.
Raptures isn't just draining somebody of all glamour. They can't interact with a person to gain back glamour.
No, it's just changing interactions how to get this.
Yeah, they have to go through a hold or harvest it. They can't just harvest it from people because they don't understand people.
Where in my mind, like the whole conversations with House Allele and House Asen, Kyle, I know you don't watch wrestling. You need to start watching wrestling. It's every conversation that Seth Rollins has with Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker, where I'm the evil mastermind, and you're going to do what I say. And then the other two are looking at it going, yes, I'm going to do Sam and kick some ass! And then like get like that hyped up, and then before they like run into the ring, get ready to destroy whoever they're fighting. That's the whole relationship between House Allele and House Asen.
They just fight forever. That's just what they do.
There it is. Just go ahead, get them wound up, turn them on whoever you need them to fight, and just let them loose, and they're going to do their job.
Hey, you see that guy over there? He said you was a bitch.
And then they scowl at him, and then they go off and fight. That's the whole shtick behind it.
It's like in Helldivers when they introduced Xbox players and told them that the Illuminate did reach. So they all got the ODST skin and went and killed them.
Oh, hold on. Just imagine this when the House LA person, you just hear him screaming in the middle of the night, and you basically hear him saying, "What? You want my nuts? I got your nuts right here." As he just shit talking the squirrel.
And they do have virtues they stand by the way. They have 9 virtues: courage, truth, honor, fidelity, discipline, hospitality, industry, self-respect, and perseverance are their rules.
Fidelity? Oh, damn.
Yeah.
I got cheated. Let's go.
Where they honestly don't believe in everything that House Alil says. That whole honor and lie thing. No, if House Asen tells you something, they will hold their word to what they tell you.
And somehow these guys are unseelie.
These guys tell you it's not a threat, it's a promise when they fight you. So if a member of House Asen says, "I will tear out your intestines and play you jump rope with it," they will do that. Every threat they make is literal. And they do have a little like virtue council too, where they're unseelie, but they actually do invite seelie members into their lodges to discuss policies with them.
Yeah, they barely count as unseelie. Barely.
They actually do want to hear what the Seelie have to say. House Alil will take advantage of this by saying this is a whole know thy enemy tactic. Go ahead, invite them into the homes. Don't mind if we do plant a secret bug underneath the table to record the entire conversation. Go ahead, fill them up with mead, get their tongues loose, get them saying whatever you need them to say. That's the tactic here. As it turns out, you remember the Russian KGB, how like we learned a little bit fact about them, where the Americans use truth serum. The KGB would just pour a whole bottle of vodka down your throat and just get you to start talking. That was the interrogation tactic.
I mean, that's effective.
And it worked
yeah.
in it. Yeah. And really, that's the entirety of House Asen summarized. They're pretty simple. They don't really do anything in the meta plot though. They're there. They're kind of like there just to make sure that we have an even 6-to-6 ratio between the Unseelie and Unseelie. So they're cool, but they don't really have any importance in the plot.
They're so fun to play, though. I can imagine it.
Kyle, if you're to run Changeling, would you end up using them?
What
do you think?
I remember you having this conversation about the Shee and how hard they are to correctly implement into a game. Especially since these guys
that's just him being a baby.
I know, but the fact that they can just like sort of come back and just be a problem again later on, that maybe. It's a maybe. Granted, I don't know if I'm going to run a Changeling game at any point.
And I already know the answer is going to be no from Ryan because Ryan has no interest in running Changeling.
Hold on. No one's here asking you to run the Changeling game here. And 2, you don't have to be a shooting part of
I'm asking you to run a Changeling game.
Yeah, I know I'm going to run one of this Friday and also coach. You don't have to be a Shee to be part of a Changeling game.
Put your money
I know. But just to implement them and, have them not be just fucking busted.
Well, that's very simple. Don't give them too much powers. That's how... Never mind. I'll explain it later.
Yeah, don't make them too strong. That's all there is to these guys. Shall we talk about House Daran next? Where, putting up their sigil on the screen, Kyle, it's a tree.
Oh, it's the good guys from friggin' or from Return of the King.
It's the giving tree.
No, it's quite literally. No, wait. This is quite literally the friggin' cloth that's on their armor in Return of the King. This is literally the sigil of Gondor.
It is. And just like the Giving Tree, it is a cynical retelling of the Giving Tree. As in, I gave you too much of myself and you took me for granted, is the House's story. So what happened here, where, of course, all these houses are named after their guys, Daran. Where, back during the Daran was a guy who trained healers and herbalists. They were apothecaries. They went around the Celtic islands of Scotland, Wales, Ireland, Brittany, Cornwall, the Isle of Man, and they taught medicine. Is the whole shtick. Wait, hold on, man. These don't sound like Unseelie members. What's going on here? It's not just nice guys, don't they? Well, what explains their whole fall is that you didn't appreciate them enough. They were hosts where they would do early hospitals, where you know what the Middle Ages medicine looked like during this time, where we like Ryan says he's got the flu. We're just going to bring him into our clinic and we're just going to stick a leech to him. Do you feel better yet? Okay, here's another leech. Here's another. Here's another. And then we'll maybe rub something on your forehead.
That's actually my weight loss program.
We will liposuck you with the leech.
Jesus.
And it's... Why can't we just liposuck a man by just putting a straw in his stomach and just sucking the fat out and spinning it out?
It's way different. See, what you do is you cut a hole into the fat, and then you let the leeches slither in and suck all the fat out.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's disgusting. How do we get worm
possessed? Yeah, well, what happened is that House Daran's medicine was real. Because they actually were healing people. They were healing people that would go on to be... kings, and then the kings would honor them by bringing them in and having them be the official doctors. And that's what their men are supposed to be. It's a tree, it's an oak, it is safety, it is shelter, it is food, it's providing. And people took all of that for granted. So during the times of the Sundering, they started getting pulled more and more and more between all these needy people that kept asking them for what they could get out of them, never asking them, what can I do for you in return? It was the story of the little red hen. I won't help you pestle the grain. I won't help you get the oven ready. I won't help you bake the bread, but I'll help you eat it, is the attitude towards House Daran during this time. And it culminated in House Daran during the Shattering. They stayed behind and they were helping people go into the gates of Arcadia, saying, go, 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 go. We're trying to get as many people out, like boots off the ground as possible. Come on, run through the gate. You can save yourself. And then as Daran turned to go through the gate himself, the door slammed in his face by the people he just saved. That's the thanks he gets for being a good person. No good deed goes unpunished, right?
Yeah, my dad lives by that.
And in that happening, his heart turned to fucking ice when that happened. He said, all right, if you're going to take everything I did for you for granted, then fine. Fuck you. I'll go help your mortal enemies instead. He found out that Ailill and Cathal were starting this thing called the Unseelie Court. He got in bed with them. And now he will only help the enemies of the people that he used to help. That's his villain origin story. It sounds a lot like The Incredibles, doesn't it? Fly home, buddy. I work alone.
Yep. And then... You see? Now you respect me, because I'm a threat. That's the way it works.
They're holding you still with Primal and say, after all, I am your biggest fan.
Indeed.
There's moments like that. It's these people that are just stewing over misdeeds done to them and they're retaliating for everything they've done. Those do make for good villains, but you see that House Daran takes a step too far. Because you see who they got in bed with.
Oh, yeah.
House Ailill and House Bolar.
When you are seeking vengeance, you're willing to use whatever tools you have at your disposal to get it.
And as for what they're doing today, they're getting ready for a great battle to come, where they know the Fomorians are going to return. That's ultimately what the game plan is going to end up being, where part of the Eternal Winter coming back, the Fomorians are going to come back. They know it's going to happen. But instead of just giving the keys to the kingdom over to them like the House Bolar wants to do, their belief is that they can control the Fomorians. When they come back, we'll beat them in submission, and then they'll do what we say. We'll be the kings in charge this time. Good luck with that, by the way. That doesn't happen in times of judgment. That's the ultimate belief that they have. They're trying to, with their whole world as being a host maker, they're trying to prepare the world for the Unseelie Court's rulership. They're trying to get the red carpet ruled out, the castles built, the kingdom set. They're preparing the castle that House Ailill will eventually rule. Is what they're doing. The halls for House Aesir, the horror houses for the next house we're going to talk about. That's what their whole plan is. I'm the one who's doing anything for you, but you're noticing, is that being taken for granted as well? Is there a certain Simpsons episode you're remembering? One where the guy was Grimes, was his last name? Grimy?
Yes.
After all, Do you think their labor is appreciated?
Well, no, absolutely not.
Or is House Daran going to snap again and say, nobody loves me, you just use me for everything you've got, you don't actually give a shit about me? It's the whole thing here. Where that tends to happen with a lot of cynical guys, you notice, that you meet in life. That they try being good people, they try being nice guys, but then it just seems that the world just want to take everything they had for granted. I mean, that's how a lot of people turn into incels, by the way. Where, you try too hard to be a good boyfriend, and then you came across as clingy, possessive, or creepy, and now you hate all women because of it. That kind of shit.
I've never had that happen to me.
The hashtag nice guy. Well, you don't go on Reddit as much as I do.
Well, I try not to because it's a cesspit of the most vile human interaction capable of being produced with absolutely zero... Well, no, there is a filter. It's just... It filters out all the good opinions and leaves you with an Ultron conclusion.
I love seeing terminally online people try to give dating advice.
It's disgusting. Quite literally, Thanos thought he had the right idea, destroying half the universe to save it from starvation. Ultron was on the internet for 15 minutes and decided it all needed to go.
It needed to go. And as for what House Daran believes, they believe fuck the commoners. The commoners can eat a dick, the Shee should rule. You guys took everything I did for granted, so only the rich and the powerful and the entitled get our services. That being the members of the Unseelie Shee. If you're not Shee, fuck you. We're going to give you that Canadian healthcare advice. That's what you get from House Daran.
I prescribe die.
But if I can see it now. Shee, what you're saying?
I can see it. Sorry if I sound different. My headphones are charging. I can see it now in the duality because there are trees half silver and half actual green.
Yes. The silver tree, part of it's frozen. Where this is a good intentioned tree that's slowly being frozen by the idea of the eternal winter. Your warm hearts have turned to ice. And you also notice that where in the times of troubles like this, where we're in the after the interregnum, that in the resurgence, that this is a time that all the changes need to band together and try to make a final push. Even though it's probably not going to happen, you shouldn't go down without a fight. But House Daran says, no, fuck you, I want you to die, and I will step over your corpse as I climb my way to safety. That's the attitude they have. If you want to summarize these guys in one word, it's cynics, is who they are.
Yes, and you thought House L was petty. These fuckers are good.
Yeah.
Petty.
That's it. That said, they actually do know what they're talking about when it comes to medicine, because if you want to be healed of your most vicious, disgusting, aggravated damage, they can do it. They can do it. There is no disease that can't be cured in the eyes of House Daran. Ryan, can we get a Tony Chopper quote from you, please?
I don't have one.
There it is. It's the Chopper mentality, Ryan.
Wait, as in Marcus Brandon Reed Chopper?
No, as in there was no disease that can't be cured, Chopper.
Oh, I thought it was Candy Chopper.
No, One Piece Chopper.
Well, yeah, Candy Cotton Candy Chopper.
Cotton Candy Chopper. Give him a little squeeze. As for the boon and flaw, House Daran's members are among the fiercest and most stalwart warriors of all the Fae. The difficulty of Dragon's Ire specifically is lowered by 1 for every member of the house. Awesome, right?
Yeah, it's kind of busted.
Would Green like to remind us what Dragon's Ire does?
Dragon's Ire, to clarify here, you're looking at it in 6th and 2nd edition. Dragon's Ire in this edition does something completely different. But Dragon's Ire is the same. Basically, it's one roll where you proceed to just fuck someone sideways.
It is All Might from My Hero Academia doing the United States of Smash.
Oh, no, Dragon's Ire is basically a fairy smite. Dragon's Ire in 2nd edition is basically your desire to hurt something just regardless.
It is, I want to hurt you really, really badly, and there's just nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, now I'm going to pull up the 20th edition version of their rule set. And this is their boon and flaws.
Where I read off the whole Dragon's Ire thing. The other thing is loose tongue greed, where honesty is a virtue and a curse of House Daran, where these guys, you know how the puka, there's stipulation with the puka is that you can only tell lies. House Daran can never lie. Everything they tell you is the truth. So that includes telling you everything about their oaths and everything about their gishes, if you manage to get the information out of them.
Yeah, but like it's I'll say this here, this is a common thing amongst the Fae. You may think, oh yes, they can't tell the truth. Well, guess what, motherfucker? I know I can't tell the truth. I mean, I know I can't tell lies. Sorry, so I'm never going to speak in direct truths. Fuck you.
And there's also a little fun thing over here about Halloween and how they celebrate Halloween. So you know Halloween is the favorite holiday of everybody in the Unseelie Court?
Yeah.
Not for House Daran. They don't go around causing pranks and doing trick-or-treating. They instead treat it like Christmas. They all stay at home during Halloween and just do a gift exchange with each other.
That's kind of nice.
And that's it. But only with the people they like, which is other Unseelie Sidhe. Everyone else should get nothing.
Yes, now they're boons. Now to clarify real quick, this is the 20th edition version.
I just read the boons.
You read it for the second. The boons are different in the 20th version.
Well, what's the other one then?
Well, the 20th version is they get a -1 on difficulty to protect anyone under their hospitality.
Oh yeah.
And a -1 to attack anyone who violates their hospitality.
Get the fuck out of my house.
Yeah, and also their flaw, they have to be. You have to accept someone into your house, even if they're your mortal enemy, unless they have violated your rules of hospitality. All right, I'm done.
It's your favorite scene from God of War, Brian. The scene with Thor at the very start of the game.
Yeah, that's it.
I haven't played the second one. I don't have a PS2 to be able to.
Oh, it's a movie game. You just gotta watch all the cutscenes on YouTube and you basically play the game.
Damn.
I'm telling you like it is. Sony doesn't make video games anymore. They make movies with video game aspects to them. And that's the business model. And also, that's all there is to say about House Daran, also.
You need a Telltale game?
Yeah. And that's it, really. Those games make for good Let's Plays, but not really anything I want to play myself. Shall we talk about the hose next? Shall we talk about the hose? It comes back to sex, Kyle. There's no avoiding it. We're going to talk about House Lin Horn next.
Lin Horn.
House Longhorn.
And that's their icon. The black rose with the harp on front of it.
That actually looks kind of tight, I'm not going to lie.
There it is.
It does.
And who are they? Kyle, you're a big fan of Husband, Hotel, and Hovelboss.
I'm not a big fan, but I did watch him quite a bit.
So you remember Valentino?
Yes, that was Angel Dust's pimp.
Alright. Well, now you know everything there is to know about this house.
Wow, that fucking sucks. You wasted this cool ass logo on that shit.
It's an entire house of pimps that intentionally get you addicted to drugs and addicted to sex to ruin your life and gain control over you.
Lamouset Heights.
That's the whole stick here. Yeah, this really is just. I said before that they were Toreador anti-tribu. I think they're Warriors of Light. In all honesty, Serpents of Light instead. Where this was a house funded by Lady Lin Horn, who was a muse and lover of mortals, who had a sex addiction. Where she was cursed by Finelia of House Liam, a jealous lover, after Lin Horn unintentionally rhapsodized a mortal bard to death. And that's where the curse came from. The curse is she must regularly rhapsodize every mortal dreamer she comes across. Yes.
So yeah. Oh wow, a person.
Yes.
Went on vulgar nickname, incubi and succubi.
That's what they're referred to as, yes. And they refer to themselves as patrons of artists, musicians, and visionaries. But Kyle, how many stories have you heard of the evil record company or the evil record executives slowly grinding a band to death and destroying creativity until they just leave them as a husk and then destroy the band and toss them off to the side.
I mean, that's what they tried to do for, well, that was most of Motown, and also what they tried to do to Pink Floyd, and they succeeded with Syd Barrett. And then also what they tried to do to Motley Crue. And then also what they tried to do with
Elvis Presley.
Yeah, and Elvis Presley.
Where these guys have a habit of finding really talented, really creative individuals before the Toreador can get their hands on them. And once they do get their hands on them, they immediately put them under their thumbs and just ruin their fucking lives in doing so. And it's funny to them. They just want to take you, leech you for every single bit of creativity and all the fun they can get out of you for, and they will deliberately do whatever it takes to keep you under their thumb. Just name any dirty tactic that the entertainment business does, and they will keep you under control with that. Where it's as petty as what they did, as extreme as what they did with Elvis Presley by just filling the man with cocaine and getting him hooked on drugs to the point where he can never leave, because if he quit, the drugs would stop and the withdrawal would fucking kill him over it. Or they do what Game Grumps did with everybody they partnered up with. Where, Kyle, if you wanted to leave the MCN that Game Grumps was running, they would just deliberately try to gaslight you and guilt trip you into staying with them in a bad deal that screwed you over, saying, oh, but what would happen if you quit? What would happen if you stopped collaborating? You know, the only reason you got views was because you were on Game Grumps. If you left us, nobody's going to want to view you, and everybody's going to say, hey, where'd you go? And you're not going to have any fans to follow you over. That was the whole shtick they would want to pull on you.
What happened to Game Grumps anyway?
Well, guess
they
what,
weren't big for
fucker?
Guess what? And then, like, Chris O'Neill managed to escape, and he did okay for himself.
That's how
his channel fucking sucks. His channel's fucking boring as shit now, but
well, that's you know, fucking I forget his name. It's been so long.
But you know, the whole irony behind it is that him and Zach Hador are getting professional gigs, and Aaron is stuck doing Game Grumps.
Yep, forever.
Yeah, that's the thing here.
Oh
him
yeah,
and
Corey,
Danny,
that's his name. That's the reason that the show sucks now.
Yeah, fucking Corey. Well, it's because Lyle, Tomar, and Zach were just getting professional gigs all the time. So the only guy you had was the fucking bottom of the barrel, Corey. Yeah, and that was it. You probably should have gone onto the internet and tried another funny man. But exactly, that's what.
You guys are still alive, actually.
Yeah, they're still alive.
I thought they died.
And that's what House Leanne does to you. So, Kyle, does this sound like an antagonist faction to you? Absolutely right.
Yes. Yes, they are.
Absolutely. Just deliberately going out of their way to just ruin your fucking lives, and that's the whole shtick behind them. Where they're referred to by other people as the Church of Demons and Seducers. Is how they're referred to and seen by other members of the Unseelie Court too. They know what these guys are like, and they can't get them off their fucking dicks either, because you know how glamour's free? Nobody's better at extracting glamour than them. Where they'll just go ahead, leech the glamour out of them with Rhapsody, toss it off to someone, and then just like grind the husk down until it can't work no more. And it's evil as shit what they're doing. But because it's giving a direct profit to the Unseelie Court, they just let them do it. This whole shtick behind them. It's the same as, say, the Zamichi just devouring people in East Europe, and it'll somebody know about it and just let it happen. Because it directly benefits you in them doing that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like ask the elder Lasambra, why are there screams in the middle of the night? Don't worry, Johnny. Don't worry about that.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry as we force this guy through another fucking porno after you already filmed 7 of them in one day.
Yeah.
It's that.
Damn.
I just want. What was that? The whole story of the guy who died in Nigeria after his 6 wives put him to a sex marathon.
God
Jesus
damn!
Christ.
You went out like a champion.
Is that how you like to die?
That's death by snoo snoo. Didn't that happen in Futurama? Can we just cuddle? Snoo snoo!
Hold on. How did you die? Died by broken pelvis.
Because it fucking dehydrates you every time you have an orgasm.
Bro didn't keep a fucking Dasani next to him while he was doing this shit? Come on, man.
No. Okay, get focused back. So, where do you find most of these guys? Ireland, by the way. You know how the Fianna cling to Ireland? Well, so do these guys. This is just the place to be. As for the sex laws in in Ireland, I don't know. I don't know if does Ireland have a big adult film industry.
I have no idea. I know that.
No.
I know that the Netherlands do.
This is actually this is a genuine question here, and this is for people who live in Ireland or the Isles in just general. There is a type of fae that would inspire you to be a great writer, but it will slowly kill you. And they're like beautiful women. They're like muses succubi.
Yes. Apparently there is no porn in Ireland because the laws don't support it.
That's
Really?
not surprising.
Which means that all the stuff that this house is doing is underground.
Oh, great!
Yeah.
Absolutely fucking wonderful.
Yeah,
so
I mean, to be fair, that's not that surprising. Ireland is very Christian.
This is the same kind of industry that would get you hooked. These guys would intentionally get you hooked on alcohol and benzos. So if you try to quit the porn industry, they would just kill you through withdrawal.
Yep.
You can't quit alcohol. You can't just quit alcohol. You can't just quit benzos like that.
Yeah, no, alcohol is one of the few things that if you actually try to quit it, can kill you.
Because it fucks up the chemicals in brain that produce what calms you down when you get anxious.
Well, damn, I shouldn't be drinking so much.
That's what happens to you. You're going to fry your brain. You're going to have to go ahead and get detoxed.
Nah,
Yeah, probably not.
See,
Not out getting blasted every single night. That's what I'm not doing.
And see, trying to find out also. This is a pretty one-note house, by the way.
Yeah, no kidding.
Like most wise list off, like you get ideas of what these guys were like based on what I just said.
Set heights light.
Not many of these guys actually go to war.
Well, no, they're too busy
no
fucking.
surprising.
Yeah, there's very few people that actually know how to fight and throw hands in this house. And
bitch slap, pimp slap.
And look at this. But here's the thing behind it too, where Kyle, I think I sent you a link to this before. Did you ever watch The Devil and Daniel Mouse?
I don't know if I did or not, in all honesty.
Now, there's a whole bit in that movie where it's like the first 5 minutes of it. Jan only signs the deal with the devil after the devil says, it's your decision. That's what they do. Well, you know how these people cast Rhapsody on you? They will not use Rhapsody on you until you say that you're in power and you make the deal with them. You have to talk them into making Rhapsody with you, is how they phrase it. They word it in a way where it makes it sound like you have the power where, oh, if you sign this contract with me, with my record label or whatever kind of art front they're doing, then we'll be the ones to be at your obedient service, not the other way around. When that's how they phrase it, but you know it's Rhapsody. You get screwed over in that deal.
Yep.
So, Ryan, everything you were saying before about how the fairies make deals, this is the one that does that. This is the closest. This is the most vanilla template Feywild screw you over deal that you were talking about before.
Yeah, they all do that.
As for their boon and flaw, they get a +1 to charisma and a -1 to all rolls involving seduction, which they can never botch. The only flaw, once you sign a deal with this house, you will begin to rapidly age. It's a metaphor for drug addiction, Kyle. Is after all you're seeing what's happening to our good old friend Ethan Ralph over here.
Yeah, he's cooked his liver and he's slowly dying. He can't die fucking fast enough.
Kyle and Ryan, I'll like to remind you again. That man is 39 and he looks like that. He looks like he's 60.
I'm just
39.
sad that he's not in the fucking ground already.
Don't worry, it's about to happen before the end of the year.
Please, just let him die. I don't want to hear about him any fucking more.
So the way you offset this rapid aging with this house is that you have to rhapsodize somebody. You have to talk somebody into doing this. Because if you don't do this, you'll begin to rapidly die of old age, and you'll die of old age when you're 30 years old with this house. But if you rhapsodize somebody, you won't age for a while. For however much glamour you retain, you just won't age. And then you have to keep doing it in order to maintain your powers. You see there's a whole vampire and parasite aspect to this.
little bit,
so to speak. So theoretically, you could live forever in this house, but you have to destroy the lives of a lot of people to do so.
Well, wouldn't the banality eventually kill you?
Yeah, you live forever, but can you live with yourself?
No, not really.
Yes, and lastly, we have was probably the most one note and simple of all the houses. House Veric.
Wait.
What?
There's
what?
one thing I want. There's one last thing I want to say.
What?
And in the 20th edition, it is slightly different on the boon. Instead of it works like this. In the 20th edition version, you get a +1 to your charisma score, even if that will take you above 5. So yay. Yes. And also, if you were to focus all your information and this feeling and this desire on one individual, all social roles will be by -1 difficulty.
Which is great. Just see, and here we go. Here is your image of what House Veric looks like. Shaboom! There it is.
Here it is, Lin and Shee.
There it is. That is the Vladimir Lenin elf, Kyle.
Wait, why?
These guys are very, very Russian. Very, very, very Russian. In their origin and where they came from and how they act.
Suka Blit.
Where, Kyle, you saw the entirety of the Boondocks, right?
Not all of it. I don't remember where I left off, in all honesty. It's been a minute.
Yeah, you at least saw the first Stink Meter episode.
Yeah, of course I saw the Stink Meter episode.
Where House Veric, to describe it, it's the scene where Stink Meter's like sitting at the edge of the cliff, and it's this beautiful sunset with a rainbow, and there's trees in the background, and the dolphins are jumping out of the water, and he turns around and says, "Man, this is some bullshit," and just walks away from it. That's House Veric.
Well, isn't Stink Meter blind?
He is.
Yes.
Yeah, but this is back when he had eyes.
Oh.
Yeah. Also, I'm sorry for interrupting. I found the folklore creature that this house is based off, the Lin and Shee.
The Lin and Shee.
I can post the name right here.
Go ahead, post it. It's gonna be something sexy, isn't it? Post it.
Yeah. I just want to say one thing. You notice how their last name is Shee, right?
Yes.
All right. Oh yeah. Oh, for the Shee in general.
Yeah, they're called the Lin and Shee.
Leon.
All right, I'm done.
Yes. Which is the Irish folklore figure that they're named after.
Yeah.
And as for House Veric themselves, House Veric was a guy who used to be very loving, very affectionate, used to show his love and spread his love to everybody, until one woman that he was simping for broke his heart into a million pieces. And he never got over the breakup. And ever since then, he has then closed his heart off to everybody and says, you know what? Being emotional and being passionate gets you just disappointed, just hurt. So I'm just going to completely shut off my heart, just harden my heart to the point where I don't feel anything. I'm just going to be a stoic, miserable person for my entire life, and I'm going to win through it. And that's how I'm going to win. Is that like a way to live?
No.
Not really, but that's what he does anyway. And I'm just going to be bitter and pessimistic for my entire life. And so his entire house is made up of bitter, pessimistic people that are very emotionally dead. Where, I remember this too, where, when I was in middle school, my dad took a medication that my mom described him as having the personality of a bag of hair. That's how he acted. Where it was, hey dad, do you want to do something? And my dad would just sit there with his hands in his lap and just shrug his shoulders. And that was it.
Oh, God.
They fucked up how much they were giving him too, so that's what made him act like that. Where it turned him into the most boring man on the planet, and that's exactly what House Veric is. You weaponized being boring to a point where I think just being around a member of House Veric would give you points of mentality. Which is how emotionally stunted they are. Just imagine Stink Meter, but with none of the charisma to the character. That's what they act like.
Stink Meter was so fun to watch.
He was actually just very funny to watch.
But then these guys aren't fun. They're just dicks. This is just an asshole. That's just every member of House Veric is just an asshole. That's your character. Where was it? I'm trying to think I'm trying to think of something that's not fucking Undertale. It's like fucking Noelle's holding mom in chapter 4, where she's not fun to be around. She's not a good character. You just walk away from it and you say, wow, that character was a bitch. and that's your only takeaway from
like
it.
the pixies from Fairly Odd Parents.
Yes.
Oh, grandissimo.
The pixies where they just go around where did I get you having fun? Let me just shun you having fun. Did I get you just trying to be shit? Let me just ruin your aspirations of being anything.
The technocracy.
Exactly that. Where if you put the Shee in a monkey suit, if you put him in a blazer suit with a tie and slacks, that's what House Veric is like. That's exactly them. Where as to what they're fascinated with they've become they're almost like anti-fairies by this point, because what do they find interesting? Patterns. You know, something that's the same, that happens in repetition forever and ever and has no variation to it. That's what they like doing. You'll just catch a member of House Veric as a kid just drawing squares.
And I get it. They got autism.
And all the squares are the same size and the same length, and they're all just in a grid, and that's what they like doing.
Oh god, they have autism!
They have tile autism.
You go to their houses, and you see that the carpets are vacuumed in parallel lines. And when you go to put a drink down the table, they rush to put a coaster underneath your drink before you can put your can down. That's the kind of house you go to. It is order, it is stoicism, it is restraint, it is winning by being emotionally dead, by just having the personality of a plank of wood. And
wow,
that's your character.
I hate that.
Yeah. They are designed to drive your commoner Kith up a tree when they're around.
Just have a puka go in there and fuck they shit up.
Yeah, that's what it is. It is the driest possible Ventru character you can think of. That's their characters.
And Dave.
Oh,
that's it.
That's actually rather scary, actually. Thinking about them, they actually scary.
And what is their boon? They can observe you for 3 rounds or 3 actions, and any roll involving you will be made at -2 difficulty. Regardless as to what it is and necessarily, they just have a -2 involving anything to do with you. They'll recognize a pattern with you, so these guys are very efficient fighters on the battlefield, because they'll recognize how you're acting and will be able to dodge every attack you send at them.
Does that work against Malkavians?
Yes.
Wait.
They can find patterns in the Madness Network and manage to beat a Malkavian in a fight.
That's kind of impressive, actually.
That's the reason why they're still around.
And this is the 20th version. Basically, they can, from how it's written in the 20th version, they can see a pattern in literally anything. And it works similar to how you're doing, but instead of having to wait in 3 rounds, they just need to make a success on a keening roll, and it's -1 instead of -2.
And in 2nd edition, if you make the same action every turn, you get an extra dice for every time you do that action.
Oh, God.
So you'll eventually just snowball with these guys in combat.
They are literally the prediction machine.
Where, kind of just like, imagine a gun and FPS game, where the more you shoot it, the faster the firing rate increases.
Oh yeah, there's a gun like that in Ocho. It's the last one you unlock.
Yes, that. And then you give them extended clips with that. That's what it feels like to fight House Veric.
Jesus.
See, the only issues with them is that, first of all, they can never feel love. That just the emotion of love was something they never feel. Yes, this is a house that lacks empathy once you sign the contract with them. And their other flaw too is that they're challenge bound. Anytime you give them a challenge, they have to accept the challenge. They're very much like the Galliard in that regard.
But knowing this house, if you don't know how they actually act, you wouldn't know that they are challenge oriented, would you?
And also, if you sign up with House Veric, you'll begin to notice that everyone in House Veric looks the same. If you join this house, your hair will turn gold, your eyes will turn brown, your cheekbones will rise in elevation, and you'll gain the same taste for scarlet or black clothing. Everything you own in your closet will just be black. Everyone in the House Veric looks and acts the same.
So you basically become the Tetragrammaton cleric from fucking Equilibrium.
Yeah. Greed, you actually did say, right? These really are the Pixies' superior parents.
Yeah, damn.
They actually are.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the flaws on the 20th edition is pretty much the same, but all empathy rolls are increased difficulty by 1.
Yes. So, yay! it's basically if Agent Smith became a fairy.
Yeah, these
Is
guys
what
are
happened.
actually rather terrifying if you really think about it. If you think of them as duelists, this house would fuck you up.
Exactly. And if they all came at you with a collaborated effort too, you imagine these guys would have a high body count during the Night of Iron Knives.
Oh, they would have a body count. What makes this weird is they're still
coordinated.
They will still get hit by banality, but because he found glamour within patterns, it wouldn't hurt them as much.
Exactly. Where these guys can go into a Starbucks and survive.
Yeah.
That's something they can do. Think about that too, right? Before I get my closing thoughts on the Unseelie Court. Cal, have you been inside of a McDonald's lately?
Yeah, it's just depressing.
Now, Ryan, describe to me what the inside of a McDonald's looks like. Just
big open space, bunch of tables, a counter. Around the corner, there is a small hallway that leads into a 2-door bathroom on either side.
And what color are these walls and tables?
Fuck if I know. Red,
like tan
yellow,
and white
maybe.
usually. You got tan floors, you've
beige.
got beige walls, you've got white tables.
Purple and pink.
And you'll find that this description also fits for Burger King these days and Wendy's. All these fucking restaurants look the same, as in there is nothing to go inside there for. Like, why would you ever go into a fast food restaurant now when the atmosphere is this shit?
Because I'm too drunk to drive there. That is the only reason.
People actually made a meme. I forget the exact joke or the meme, but basically, as time went on, fast food restaurants and places got more and more dead.
Where, Kyle, for example, this is topical in the news. You want to talk about Cracker Barrel for a second?
Oh, God.
Yeah,
no, Johnny, no.
Now the logo's been saved, but the interior has not. Kyle, this is what the Cracker Barrel used to look like on the inside.
Oh no, I've seen the images.
Yeah, where that's the before picture. Now, Green, this looks like a fun place to go into, right?
It's like this looks like a place with history, knowledge.
Now, here's what it looks like today. Yeah.
It's so boring, though.
This is the lobby of a funeral home. This is so boring.
It's not just they kept the pictures, but the walls feel so lifeless in comparison.
It's white walls. The beams are the same, like this boring, like dark gray color. And notice that all the pictures are on the same level of elevation on the walls.
Yeah, there's no character to it. There's no like, we were kind of running out of room on the walls because this is our trip from when we went to Montana and we saw this real old gas station that was the first one ever put up in the county. And then we popped on down to go fishing in the Colorado River. You got the fishing rods there on the walls. There's none of that. There's, we found this in a thrift shop down the street, and we thought it just looked so cute and added such a vibe to the room.
I hate it. I basically hate this.
Now, and changing to dreaming, going inside of a place like this can actually kill your character. I shit you not.
No, it could. Johnny may be overestimating a little bit, but prolonged safe places and just pure boredom and banal places will kill you. It just won't be instantaneous.
Except House Veric, because they can go inside. No. They can go inside of a place like this and survive.
This is like
there's a limit, obviously, to how much even a House Veric can stand in a banal place. But yeah,
no, like this is like the equivalent of going into a lava room without the Varia suit in fucking Metroid.
Like a House Veric could go into an office, sure, and survive better than most. Could a House Veric go into a technocrat base? Fuck no.
No. Yeah, you'd be dead before you hit the ground.
Yeah, there's too much banality for them. That is way too sterile.
Now for the recap portion. Let's conclude our thoughts on the Unseelie Court. So, is there any cohesive unit to this in your mind?
No.
With all the houses we described? No. Now, Ryan, you don't think so either?
Actually,
No.
I think there is.
You disagree with that?
I think there actually is one.
Because there is one in a war sense. You know how Germany in 1938 only existed because there was a war, where if there was no war, that would have collapsed.
No, you're along the right path, but I think it's slightly different.
Because they have a unified enemy in the Unseelie Court, that's the reason why the Unseelie Court is able to stay together. Where House Asen is the conquest branch, Bolar is your fear branch, Daran is keeping everything together behind the scenes or setting up your bases. Lin Horn is getting you your resources. Veric is going into your front lines and scouting for you. Ileel is the glue that's keeping it all together. Now, you think the Unseelie Court would last if it wasn't for House Ileel?
Probably not.
No.
No, it would collapse if there was no House Ileel. They are the glue keeping it together.
They were the only one founded with a direct mission.
But I agree. It's they're staying around. The reason why I think the connecting glue that between all of the Unseelie, it's spite.
It's that. And the only people that can unify that and turn it into a weapon is House Ileel. That's it. Where House Ileel is the Unseelie Court by this point.
Yeah. They are the actual founding force behind the Unseelie. They actually made the rules that all Unseelie follow.
Maybe the houses this court could continue if there was no House Ileel and there was House Bolar instead, but that would be tenuous and that would be bound for collapse at some point.
Yes. House Ileel would basically look at the rest of the Unseelie and go, "Okay, I can see that I'll have to teach you how to be villains." And that's House Ileel.
No, hold on. I have House Ileel. Oh, you're a bad guy, but you lack what a bad guy has. What's that? Presentation.
And then Welcome to the Jungle begins in the background.
Wait, what movie was that from? I know that.
Megamind.
They fucked up Megamind 2. Megamind 2 was a bad movie.
And the Doo-Doo Syndicate.
They should have just kept it at one.
It's so good if they just leave it like one-off movies. But with House Ileel, what comes to my mind with this is that Kyle, you saw Wizards, didn't you?
Yes, it was a while ago, but I did watch Wizards.
Now you get the whole message behind what they were doing with Scorch, where it ties into the Unseelie Court for everybody listening at home, where it's this whole group of mutants and masterminds that, masterminds in name only, that talk about how they're going to be this big shot that's going to kill all the fairies and all the elves, and then it never happens because there's nothing actually unifying them together. You're going to talk about how big and bad and scary you are. And so you go out, you fight. The people that follow you don't actually believe in you. The people are just as big and bad as you. Don't listen to a word you say. Nothing actually gets done with a force like this, until someone steps forward and gives you a unified identity. They give you a vision of what you will look like if you do succeed your goal. They give you something tangible to work with. The carrot forms on the end of the stick. Now you have something to fight for as a unified whole. You go out, you fight the war, and you start winning. Is what makes you a terrifying antagonist. That's what House Ileel did with the House Bolar and every other house in the Unseelie Court. But if House Ileel was to die, you would see the head of the snake collapse, where it would go right back to being, I'm the biggest, I'm the best, I'm the strongest, and then you don't do anything because you're too busy talking about how big and bad you are with no vision to follow.
Basically, yes.
And I feel like that's the case with just about all these different, big man and fascist regimes you see rise throughout history, where the regime completely collapses when the man himself dies. Because Kyle, right now, with the idea of Nazism, these guys are never going to win because they don't know who the fuck they hate anymore, and there's nobody to actually stand up and lead them into any sort of unified vision anymore. The guy that did that died in 1945, and now you're just going around false flagging and it's not false flagging, I'm sorry, countersigning each other, and nothing is actually getting done.
They're never going to because they're too busy infighting about who is the true heir to all their bullshit. Meanwhile, the governments themselves are doing a better job of that than they ever will.
Exactly. It's It's the whole thing here, where if it wasn't for House Leo, we would have no antagonist in Changing and Dreaming, except for the other Fomorians, but nowadays as a whole, the Thalane, and then I'm forgetting the name of all the people.
The only direct opposition in Arcadia, yeah.
Yeah, it's like the Sabbat wouldn't be a Sabbat if the La Sombra weren't the ones in charge.
And there we go. That's the Unseelie Court for you guys. Ryan, what do you think? What do you think of these people?
Right.
Rise from thy grave.
Yeah.
He's dead. He's dead.
No, I'm just tired.
Ryan, drink a glass of water.
No, I've had too much water today.
There it is. I don't think you had enough water.
You never have too much water. Water's good for you.
Channel your inner rapid.
Channel your inner rapid. Ryan, you need to drink water.
What was the question?
Are you a fan of the Unseelie Court? Does this sound like a good antagonist to you? You gotta think about that one. No!
Oh, they could be great antagonists and also protagonists.
I don't know.
Yeah, you hate Changing Dream.
I say they're not the most compelling of like villains, just because it's just the one group holding them together.
But
also that's the same thing with Pentex.
Well, yeah, but Pentex is like a lot more evil bullshit that they do. And they have more tentacles. They have less of a chance to power vacuum. They're not really a glue held together. It's a multi-headed serpent.
I'll give you they're decent, but it's not something that I would,
Because after all, you two never really got into Game of Thrones. That was a very
Game of Thrones. This is very political heavy game.
Yeah, it's a very political villain.
Every season.
Yeah, I doubt it.
You've watched every season. Prove that you're a real fan, Ryan.
I didn't read the books.
Yeah,
I had the books.
Well, that's okay. George R. R. Martin's never going to finish it.
You know what? Right, I've been curious here. What do you play? What is your favorite game?
What's your favorite game?
D&D.
What? Oh, that explains a lot.
D&D's nuts.
God damn it.
That
was terrible.
And no, it was.
It was.
I like vampire. I like werewolf. I could even get into mage. I said it in the last episode.
The joy and whimsy
I really
of
don't
Changeling.
like Fae.
Johnny, you fucking ruined it, Johnny.
This fairy tale bullshit. Now, he came to that decision on his own. I didn't influence that.
I don't even like the Feywild in D&D.
Well, no, the Feywild sucks. Fuck the Feywild. I hate it.
Well, I will say this here. It's because you're looking at it from a very... How do I put this here? A lot of people, and this is a lot of the reasons why people don't like Changeling, is because they base off of face value. And when they think of Changeling, they think of leprechauns and fairies.
No.
How about I see a leprechaun say hey?
I mean, to be fair, I know some friends of mine when I worked retail that actually ran a Changeling game IRL, and they were in 20th edition. And when I went back recently to talk to them, he's like, "Yeah, we're still playing it, and we're still enjoying it, and everybody's kind of enjoying it." They test ran Vampire, but they didn't quite get into it the same. I think they really like Changeling.
They're looking for
you about to say something, Ryan?
I'm not going to sit here and say it's garbage. I'm just going to say it's not for me.
Yeah,
I'm not going to make shit on you.
That's fair.
That's fair, but
we need to get Ryan in on a Wraith game.
Yeah, but this isn't Vampire 5th edition where there's a lot of justified hate. I am simply going to say this here to you, Johnny. Is because you had a bad experience, I may have soured your expression.
I'm calling you to prove me wrong.
I'm going to try to fix that. We're going to have a talk this Friday about the Changing game. We're going to have a talk about it.
We'll see if you can get Fox involved in that one, too.
Oh, good luck with that.
There it is. The less combat in your game, the better. The more you have a chance to convince them.
That's surprising, given how Fox would play 5e. And the fact that he's a Warhammer player.
Well, we saw like when we were playing D&D 5e2 that Fox was never that big on combat.
Well, no, I mean, I did like the RP moments that he and I had in Spelljammer specifically. That was funny.
Well, it's because when we were playing Ghost of Saltmarsh, he was peppering enemies off at a distance, like sniping them with a musket.
Yeah,
And
he was playing as Snicks, and I was. Oh wait, no, he was playing as Snicks.
Snicks died, and then Echo.
No, we both died. Yeah, because I was playing Sharky. We both died.
But he made Echo after that, and then Echo became like the deuteragonist of the game because for a while it was just him and Gary that were in that game.
Yeah, I do apologize. I backed out, but I was in the middle of college.
It was basically a game like Misfortune was like a cartoon character schemer, and then Echo was like Donald Duck by King Crew. Was his whole character, just very pessimistic, very pissed off all the time, trying to find money.
And then he became a demigod that showed up in Spelljammer.
Yeah, he was a super boss.
That scared the shit out of me. He almost one-shotted me.
Yeah, so that's how you treat your player characters when they come back in the game.
That's true. Yes.
You want to treat them like legends. And they would also like to say sorry to Kyle. Jey Uso lost the Fatal 4-Way. Seth Rollins won.
I still have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. Why the hell did you rename me on Discord?
Let's see. We're going to have Jey Uso win the Fatal 4, and he's not going to Seth Rollins.
To stop renaming people. You changed my name to King of Weed. God damn it, Johnny.
Yeah, I mentioned this before, and you didn't notice.
No, I didn't.
What's the marijuana fact for today, Greed?
I hate you so much, Johnny.
Oh yeah,
I hate
Johnny.
you so much.
I have a very important announcement to make, and I'm sorry I didn't buy any, but I found Rap Snacks finally.
Rap Snacks?
I did. I found this. It was at this open air gas station when I was driving home from my guitarist's house, and I stopped to get gas, and I went over to get myself something to drink, and I saw the Snoop Dogg barbecue cheese Rap Snacks, and I was really tempted to get them, but I'm like, no, don't waste your money. Just get the drink and get the gas and go. But at least I know where they are.
But you can just steal the Rap Snacks.
No, I'm not stupid.
Alright, and with that, we've hit time. That's it for this episode.
Yep.
Right.
Unseelie
Next
Shee.
episode, I'll tell everyone about the actual ability of the Shee. All right, bye.
What do you mean next episode? We're doing the Silver Record next.
Wait, what?
Yep. Yeah, the next episode is the werewolf episode.
Oh, okay, cool.
Shit.
We'll get back to the Shee some other time.
We gotta spread out Changeling because Changeling isn't that big of an attention getter.
That's fair.
Give it time.
We don't got a lot of fans to our group.
Rip. Anyway.
So
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.